Cootie Roots.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night, Sunday night.
Get
Hello,
out of
everybody, and welcome back once again to the Super Reliable Studios as we bring you into Friday's festivities. Of course, part of Mania is going on right now, so shout out to the rest of the team. But we are here for the first time ever in Super Studios history, bringing you coverage of the all Joshi Pro Wrestling promotion from Japan, Stardom. Welcome to the discussion and the pre-show and analysis. Hello, everybody. Noah Foster, Walter Cruz, Mr. Reliable. We are Super Reliable here once again discussing all things wrestling. Shout out to W fam. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the passions, super chat or PayPal the passions. It is truly as simple as that. Walter, Yoshikeshi, it's good to see you once again. We've been baptized by Pro Wrestling Noah, Marigo, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now you're officially into Stardom. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. If Bloodsport was any indication, because there was 2 Stardom people there, and this is going to be great. I hope they're on the card.
Well, again, let's go ahead and just briefly look at the card real quick. We, of course, folks, are coming off Neon City, Sin City, excuse me, and we are going to cover the Neon City show. Of course, you can look at the bundle courtesy of Triller TV. We have single action with Syuri versus Kelsey Heather. Syuri, of course, ahead of challenging Maika Watanabe for the IWGP Women's Championship, April 27th at Dream Kingdom. Tag team match with Maya World and Starlight Kid taking on Johnnie, Robbie, and Asume before Starlight Kid and Asume fight over the White Championship, the Wonder Stardom title. A rivalry as old as time itself with these two. We have, of course, Raychell Rose and Mina Shirakawa. Yay, Mina. Taking on Suzuki, Crazy Girl, and, of course, one of my faves, Hazuki, in tag team match. And, of course, Hazuki will be challenging for the Goddess of Stardom tag team champions alongside her partner Kaguma against Wing Gory, and Suzuki will be challenging her former tag team partner, Maika, both at Dream Kingdom. In intergender action, we have the DKC, Saya Iida, and Hanan taking on Clark Connor's TheKLA. You might like this, Walter. Clark and TheKLA call themselves Sex and Violence. And their tag partner, Natsuko Tora, of course, representing Bullet Club War Dogs, and formerly made a tie now known as Hate. And of course, TheKLA has been at odds ends with the Stardom promoter himself, Okada. And of course, you can look more about that rivalry on the Stardom world. And I believe our main event will be Megan Bayne, HANAKO, and Maika. Of course, Megan Bayne and HANAKO, previously the Divine Goddesses, former tag team champions, taking on Momo Watanabe, KONAMI, of course, you saw from Bloodsport last night, and Kalientita. And that, of course, is our card coming up for Stardom American Dream 2025 in Neon City. A good dynamic of singles action and multi-person warfare that could have momentum implications ahead, of course, next week's pay-per-view of Dream Kingdom, Stardom Supercard of the spring season. Of course, we will not be able to cover and watch it. We will have to do that later on demand because of the way that they run the pay-per-view sometimes in Japan. So that being said, Walter, what do you think about this card? There's some familiar names you know. There's some familiar names that I'm sure you're going to find that you actually did know that you may not know prior to this. There's, of course, mixed action. Of course, this is represented by Deadlock Pro Wrestling and West Coast Wrestling as well. So that's why you got some familiar names here. But what do you think about this? And how do you feel about coming about Stardom for the first time?
I feel great. Looking for the. Oh, don't mind looking at Maya World on my screen. I'm a big fan of hers already. But yeah, but last night in Bloodsport, I was hoping. Is it Maika or Maika? Maika
Maika.
was going to be on here. Yeah, she impressed the hell out of me yesterday.
Not surprised one bit by that.
Losing effort, but still.
Yeah, of course. And shout out again to Walter and James that covered Bloodsport last night. So before we talk a little bit more about Stardom, what tonight matches could mean towards the pay-per-view I'm talking about, of course, next week, why don't you go ahead and give some thoughts real quick on what Stardom was like for you last night and some of your highlights?
What Bloodsport was like?
Yeah, Bloodsport. Yeah, excuse me. I'm tired.
Yeah. Oh, the Josh
Family
Barnett
boggle my
versus Gabe
mind.
Kidd.
Family boggle my mind. Continue.
Gabe Kidd versus Josh Barnett. The fact that Gabe Kidd is one of the few that actually beat him in a Bloodsport match, and then the respect he gave him. If you know the story and the history and the mentality that Gabe Kidd once had, to where he didn't want to do this anymore and basically didn't even want to be around anymore. He was in a deep depression, and the couple of people that reached out to him, Josh Barnett was one of them, and he got him out of that. And to see it come full circle was awesome. Zack Sabre Jr., Josh Gresham, technicality. Watch that. It was technical at its peak.
Not surprised.
Ah, the back and forth. And Pete Dunne, that was an awesome match. Like, I've seen stuff, a back suplex onto the head was a knockout. Karrion Kross, no, it wasn't Karrion. Yes, it was Karrion Kross that did a knockout with a German suplex on the head, and he knocked um JR out.
Kratos.
Yeah, Kratos out, and Aoki. That match was just crazy. So the whole card, it just kept getting better and better and better. That shout out to Natty. Natty got her victory, man. It was so proud. JJ was so happy to see that, and she actually won with the damn sharpshooter on Bloodsport.
Wow, that says a lot against the girl with the pink kick, who I thought was going to knock her out.
Yeah, no, Natty was she had the the stars knocked loopy. She was out of it, but she was able to withstand it.
All right,
Like,
so Natalia needs to be more involved in Bloodsport. Good to know.
mm-hmm.
Charles and Matt, good to see you. We're doing well. It's good to have everybody here across all the feeds, all the streams here at the Simply Reliable Studios. So, that being said, TNA Wrestling Unbreakable. Want to give a shout again to DJ, who really rocked his first ever time on commentary. I think he really has a chance to really come into his own in this fun little watch-along business. Don't be a stranger to it, bruv. You see how much fun you had. Please follow DJ today on the social medias. Of course, the spaces with Walter, JJ, and DJ, and James. Unbreakable was a very fun show. Great mixed tag team dynamic with Joe Hendry and Masha Slavis against Tessa Blanchard and Kazarian. Kazarian decked Tessa and allowed Masha to literally rock the self-proclaimed king of TNA, and Joe Hendry to pull up a standing ovation. Still heavily favoring that arm, though, and I'm sure that's going to come into play at Rebellion, as Joe Hendry and Masha Slavis did get the win. In the International Championship Tournament, it was Steve Macklin and Eric Young that advanced, actually, not Ace Austin. But Ace Austin did welcome back the man that show was about by name, Unbreakable, Chris Bay, who came back home to TNA and his home turf of Las Vegas to truly show that we, his spirit, TNA, we truly are unbreakable. It was so good to see and hear from him, a testament of the human will and human spirit, standing strong in his own 2 feet. Whether or not he may ever wrestle again, to be determined. In one of the damnedest matches I've ever called it with the word massacre on the forum, Mance Warner and Sami Callihan bludgeoned, teared, and literally bled into each other with lemon, salt, barbed wire, doors, tables, and a staple gun to a man's tongue to a door, ripped off by a chair swing on that door. That was the
barbed wire match, right?
Yeah, barbed wire massacre match. At one point, I thought that Sami Callihan cut an artery off Vance Warner's arm to the point that they heavily taped it up. Either way, Cactus Driver 97 and Sami Callihan did win this match and probably made it more infamous than what Abyss, Mick Foley, the likes of back in the old days started. And in 6-man tag team match, Mike Santana and the Hardys did beat the DAMMIT and Mustafa Ali. It was also made official, not only with the TNA National Championship be on the line at Rebellion, as Steve Macklin did win the tournament, became the first ever champion. Congratulations to him. We will also have a Falls Count Anywhere match between Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali at Rebellion, as they have a triple main event in store for us. In open challenge, by the way, Moose, he actually got answered by, you remember Reggie from WWE? Yes, Sidney Hakeem. He came forward and challenged Moose, and of course, Moose won in quick fashion thanks to the cheat code Alicia Edwards. Go figure. Although Alicia Edwards did cost her husband a triple threat, which I was very happy about. But Unbreakable was absolutely an incredible show. We got another performance from Elijah in TNA. We walked this way ahead of the Walk This Way Elijah Open Challenge at Rebellion. And it was just a really great night of professional wrestling, and I enjoyed it. And I'm very happy that Steve Macklin was the man to make history first, because I think he deserves it. And of course, folks, we also had Prestige Wrestling last night, but I'm sure JJ and crew could talk more about that later on, because, of course, Friday, Podmania and Stardom are only the first of a couple of things we're giving you today. As, of course, we have SmackDown, Jordan Ellis Big Break, and the WWE Hall of Fame ahead of where it really gets real, WrestleMania weekend with Stand Deliver WrestleMania, GCW Clusterfuck, and, of course, the Raw Mania and the NXT after WrestleMania. I also want to give a quick shout out to WWE for actually giving us a set with personality. I just saw the set reveal. It looks tremendous. Floating car thing is kind of weird. But that being said, now that we kind of taught people back up to speed about what we've done to a degree, by the way, shout out to the inspiration. So damn happy that they were back. Let's go ahead and talk a little more about Stardom. So let's go ahead and preview this show a little bit. So first off, Walter, Syuri, for you, in case you don't know, she has a background in MMA. She actually came forward from MMA, similar to Tom Lawler, and she's also been involved in Ultimate Fighting Championship matches. In fact, UWF matches she's undefeated in. She's actually going to be challenging Mayu Iwatani for the second time one-on-one for the IWGP Women's Championship April 27th at Dream Queendom. Tonight she goes one-on-one with Kelsey Heather, of course, a bright name on the independent scene. But what do you think about this match and Syuri trying to build some momentum ahead of facing the Stardom icon once again next weekend?
Looking forward to, you know how I love people that transition from MMA because I love that grapple style. So hopefully they gave me. Is she a high flyer or just grapple submission specialist?
Well, for those that don't know, Stardom is all about high striking combat, and it really hurts really bad. You know names the likes of Candy Ray, Piper Niven, Tony
Mm-hmm.
Storm, Io Shirai have gone through Stardom as well. So it's a combination, but Syuri is very much a grounded competitor, and she will kick your damn head off. Former World of Stardom champion, former 5-star Grand Prix winner. That's Stardom's version, basically, of their G1 Climax that we'll be covering here at the Civilizable Studios, courtesy of Batty for Wrestling, our Canadian friend. Subscribe. Become a subscriber today at Batty for Wrestling. Shout out to Ash, by the way, who had great fun and worked with JJ Williams covering Prestige Wrestling last night. And you know a little bit about Kelsey Heather. We've called her work a little bit on the independent side of things. She's a bit of a freelancer. So I'm expecting Kelsey to test Syuri here, but I think Syuri is going to kick her head off. It'd be interesting, though, if Kelsey would challenge Syuri in her world of match, UWF, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
So just to give you a heads up, and for those that don't know, Kelsey Heather is a freelancer. She is currently the Shine Nova champion. Has a background in cheerleading. So that's our one-on-one match, actually, for the night.
Why the cheerleaders transition to wrestling so easy?
It's something about the gymnastics background, I think, and the capability of their athleticism. Now you just got to know how to strike people and capture them. And I'm curious if Kelsey Heather's going to try and capture Syuri or knock her out. Let's go ahead and talk about this one real quick. You were talking about Maya World. Maya World will be in tag team match and alongside Starlight Kid against NJPW Academy Bright prospect Johnnie Robbie and Asume. And like I said, this match really comes down to Starlight Kid and Asume's history in Stardom. Forever rivals over the high-speed championship. Of course, Starlight Kid, the White Tiger right now, currently holding the Wonder of Stardom Championship, a title that is both about work rate and emotions, while Asume is looking for the first time ever to be the Wonder of Stardom champion. These two have been at odds ends in wars over the high-speed championship. Of course, Asume, the daughter of high speed, has defined that title pretty much her entire Stardom career. However, don't count out Johnnie Robbie. Again, Johnnie Robbie, new lease on life, coming back from injury. Last time we saw her here in Las Vegas was literally Fighting Spirit Unleashed, and she had a great one-on-one match then at the time against, I believe, Mayu Iwatani. And of course, Maya World, out of Reality of Wrestling, also Mission Pro Wrestling. Maya World, I'm curious if Maya World and Starlight Kid can actually coexist. What's your thoughts on this tag team dynamic?
I don't know too much about Johnnie Robin, and I do know 3 of the 4. She's the only one I don't know. Of course, we called different matches for the 3 of them. You and I have called Starlight Kid before. We've called Maya World, or maybe that was me and JJ, but I remember calling both of them. But I know I called them.
You're right, VIP Wrestling.
Yeah, okay, we did. Okay.
And we did call Johnnie Robbie because she came back from injury and, of course, challenged Mina Shirakawa, I believe, in the countdown.
Oh, show. Yeah, you're right, the countdown.
Yeah, back at, I believe it was literally last year, Strong Spirit Evolve in December. So, again, it's good to always see somebody come back from injury, competing as strong as ever.
Yeah,
but I don't know why he's in the studio unless he wants to talk. That's random, but
okay. I think he's just downloading a graphic for me.
Okay, that's fine. Well, that being said, I want to give a shout out, of course, to the men's behind the scenes, including but not limited to James Hebert. What's up?
He created a new baddie for Ashley. We want to show you a graphic.
Oh,
well, it's pretty funny. Yeah, we gave her something. Since we do it, we gave her one.
Oh Lord, am I gonna have to call her a freaking idiot like you two, or like you three?
No. Did he put it in already? I think that's why he went in.
Not yet. Just looking to see which brand he puts it in. We're in the Lucha Libre Japanese wrestling brand, producer man. Just saying. But anyway,
there it is.
Perfect, dickhead. All right, I approve.
We have to give her one of them.
Be happy. Enjoy wrestling. All right, fair enough. And of course, like I said, We also are coming off the fact that we just had Sin City, because of course you bought the bundle, but Stardom
Mhm.
American Dream 2025 and Sin City just literally happened last night. Asumi
Mhm.
and Ram Kaijo beat Maserati and Starlight Kid last night in tag team action. So we'll see if Asumi can go 2 for 2 and get all the medals she needs to take on the White Tiger for the Wonder Stardom Championship soon
If
enough.
you want, I mean, we're busy, but if you want, we might have to go backwards and retro watch that one.
I mean, I'm for it. I mean, I got nothing else to do today. I
We can do it
figured out.
anytime we want because it's retro, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty
Mm.
sure I'm not on the call for anything else tonight unless I attend the Hall of Fame. So, I mean,
Uh,
I'm whatever. You know
oh,
me,
they were gonna give
wrestling.
you the option, didn't they? Ask. They wanted to ask you if you wanted to do
What?
SmackDown or ah crap. We need JJ in here, but he wanted to
Gosh.
give you an option.
You guys are always going to try and make me work more than I absolutely have to anymore. Go figure. Well, keep me posted. Let's go ahead and talk about this next match. First off, yay, Mina. Mina makes me happy. We all want Mina, don't we? Mina Shirakawa and Raychell Rose will be in tag team match against my girl, Hazuki, and crazy girl, Suzu Suzuki. This feels like a tag team of craziness made in Joshi heaven. All right, so straight up, Mina Shirakawa, of course, who just had recently her last match in Japan in Stardom, of course, is on her way here to the States for the long going to become elite. We also know that Mina Shirakawa, and talking about Asume earlier, they'll be challenging Mercedes Moné for the NWA Strong Women's Championship next month at Resurgence. Ahead of that, though, Hazuki, of course, her tag team partner Koguma, they will be challenging for the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Championships against Lingori, Iida, and Hanan, who are also in action here tonight. Suzu Suzuki, who has been on kind of a crossroads of her own personality. Does she have any friends? Is she still part of Neo Genesis? I think she left that faction after the fallout with her and her former tag team partner. Of course, they will go one-on-one April 27th. And of course, Rachel Rose, a very familiar name for those that don't know on the independent scene. We've seen her in Mission Pro. We've seen her in VIP. We've seen her in TNA. But I look
Mhm.
at this match right here, and I think about Hazuki and Suzuki. They're both legitimately fucking crazy, and I love them for that. And I do feel like that Hazuki's been testing stars to show how strong they are. Don't be weak. And some of the other members of her faction have kind of taken her words almost as an insult. So I almost wonder if Suzuki is going to try and lead by example, especially with the fact that Mina Shirakawa is leaving the promotion. What do you think about this tag team match, Walter?
That's the problem. Mina's leaving. We all want Mina. I think we want her in a different way that you want her, but
That clearly.
because you're not the perv of the studios. You're the professional one. But
Someone has to be.
Mina, traditionally speaking, people look at the lights on their way out when they're leaving something because she's going to. If rumors to believe, is she going to AEW full time or ROH? Is it AEW?
I imagine it has to be AEW at this
AEW,
point.
right?
Kind of like
Hmm.
Kevin Knight. Continue.
Yeah. So I assume, unfortunately, she might be the one to take the pin. Unfortunately, and I
Okay,
think
that's
Hazuki's going to be the one to pin her.
really Hazuki.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, that would give her momentum ahead of the tag title bout. But
Exactly.
Mina, Shirakawa, and Suzuki, they've also had their fair share of history throughout Stardom as well. So I can kind of see where you're going. And of course, Rachel Rose, this is a big chance for her to really show what she's made of. Again, as this is a interpromotional presentation with 3 different promotions, folks, with Stardom. But I think I'm going to go kind of on the line of the language with you, but I think Azuki is going to pin Rachel Rose. I think they're still going to,
Oh, okay.
preserve Mina because I do think there's that Stardom respect. And I do think also that Mina Shirakawa wants Hazuki to push herself even harder. I mean, Mina Shirakawa pushed herself as hard as she could against the now Phoenix Queen, literally driven by darkness and craziness. Of course, I'm talking about the World of Stardom champion, Saya Kamatani, who, of course, will be challenging not only for that title defense, but her career April 27th against Tam Nakano, someone extremely familiar with Mina Shirakawa. I believe that was one of Mina Shirakawa's last singles matches. But yeah, I think Hazuki and Suzuki's craziness is going to lead towards the victory here.
Yeah. Also, you're right about um
What?
Mina. You don't want her on her way out look weak to the because people who watch AEW tend to watch the stuff they're associated with, New Japan, Stardom. So you don't want to make her look
5%.
weak
Okay, there
on the
might be
way.
some truth to there might be some truth to that. Continue.
Dude, they got a working relationship. It's like WWE, TNA. I'm sure they're gaining viewers and watchers and subscribers now due to
I
the
would hope.
connection with WWE.
I
I
would
would
hope.
hope so. I would hope it translates to New Japan and Stardom from the AEW side.
Well, you only can possibly guess. And again, keep in mind, Mina Shirakawa is challenging Mercedes Monet again in triple threat action with Asume next month at Resurgence for the WWE Strong Women's Championship.
That'd be a way to enter AEW as the one who beat Mercedes without having to pin her. You could
Well,
be assuming.
you can only freaking hope. Of course, one of Mina Shirakawa's last singles matches was against Maika, one of the people that you saw last night at Bloodsport in Corrigan Hall. That actually might be on my top 20. Stay tuned, folks. In no particular order, me and Walter are freaking nuts. We're giving you a top 20 each of our
Dude,
favorite matches from this month.
a lot of Bloodsport is going to be in mine now.
I think I got so far something from everything. If that tells
Exactly.
you anything, and not just this week. Sakura Genesis included, which kicked off the month of April. That being said, let's keep kicking forward through this card. We got about 7 minutes left. Here's some mixed warfare for you. As I was talking about the tag champs earlier, there they are. Wingori, Sai, Iida, and Hanan with the DKC. They will be a mixed tag team action against Sex and Violence, Clark Connors, and TheKLA. And of course, the leader of Hate, Natsuko Tora, former World of Stardom champion. We were just talking about momentum earlier, Walter. Again, you have the current Goddess of Stardom tag team champions involved in this match. So what do you think about this?
I would think they'll stay strong, right? Because if they lose, then what's their next title shot? Is it already booked or is it not?
April 27th. They
22nd,
defend the gold once again against Hazuki and Koguma FWC. So they've already beaten once.
Yeah, you don't want them looking weak going into it then. So obviously you would have the chance to win. Unless, see, Stardom doesn't do traditional booking. That's the issue. You can make them lose. That way it shows like maybe they're beatable and they have a chance of losing the title later on. And then it's actually believable. And then they have to rise above that to retain. So actually, I don't know. You would know more than I would. It's hard for me to pick in the unknown X Factor. They're all X Factors to me.
Well, again, you've never watched Stardom. I've watched Stardom since I can remember, back when freaking Utami Hayashita, the Queen of Roses, was leading Queen's Quest, which no longer exists. That being said, it's one of those things though where TheKLA also has had it in for Stardom management as of late and doesn't give a shit. Of course, Clark Connors, he also previously challenged El Desperado for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Junior Genesis as well. And TheKLA and Clark Connors are a very dangerous duo. Natsuko Tora, though, she's one of those that says Redo Tai's dead, hate must prevail, and she's the one that will always lead for the heels of this business. Meanwhile, the DKC is still a prospect out of the NJPW Academy, and Sai, Iida, and Hanan, they have been very dominant fighting tag team champions since winning the titles last year after winning the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So it's one of those things where I do think that familiarity and strength value will overcome. And by the way, for those that don't know, whenever hate's involved, you could always expect a few things. A baseball bat, a briefcase, and other members causing chaos. They're like House of Torture, but more tolerable because they actually wrestle. Sorry, not sorry, Ash. So
I was just going to say that was a shot at Ash.
You're damn right it was. With love. But House of Torture still fucking sucks. Worst thing in the business. Anyway, Sai, Iida, and Hanan, I think I am going to go with them for the win. I am curious, though, if they could beat FWZ, though, once again. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to Hazuki, the new Spark Joshi champion. Good for her. Anyway, yeah, I'm going against, I'm going with Wingori for the win with the DKC. I think they're going to get it. All right. Unless Natsuko Tora uses that mist, and then I might bite myself in the ass. But it wouldn't be the first time.
That's the problem. Why is is it like a thing to be Japanese and use the mist? Like, what the heck? Just passed on to everybody.
That a great Kabuki, I guess, really started that more than anybody, if we're being perfectly honest here, but it does seem like it. And you were talking about Maika. Well, there you go. Say hello once again to Divine Goddesses with Twin Towers HANAKO taking on Momo Watanabe, KONAMI, and Kalientita. Of course, Megan Bayne and Maika are previous God of Stardom Tag Team Champions. It was literally 1 year ago, Walter, where Maika was the World of Stardom Champion, and her and Megan Bayne went one-on-one for that very title. Respect out of being probably the 2 strongest female athletes that Stardom had in their roster at the time. Of course, HANAKO, I believe she's a new blood tag team champion. We've seen her work, of course, in Ring of Honor. Of course, one of the 3 daughters there right now with the Future Stardom Championship in the balance. And you just saw KONAMI last night on Bloodsport. Of course, KONAMI's been kind of part of Bloodsport and Josh Bonett's Bushido Bloodsport since last year. In fact, KONAMI betrayed Syuri when she joined Hate. And of course, Momo Watanabe, we saw her work recently at Revolution when she challenged Mercedes Moné. And Momo Watanabe, of course, record-setting reign with the Wonder of Stardom Championship. So I'm very curious what you think about this 6-woman tag.
Bayne ain't losing twice in a row. She just came off that loss with Toni Storm. No way they're doing that to her twice. And that's that. Her and Maika impressed the living out of me yesterday, and she just lost at Bloodsport. She ain't losing twice in a row like that.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Ma. Watanabe, I like you and everything, and you impressed it out of me when you faced Mercedes, but your team's facing the L today. I'm sorry, ain't no way.
Well, I think
obviously, 50-50 chance, obviously, but
right.
Nah, there's no way I'm voting for it. There's too much. I don't know what you can't say woman meat because then it sounds perverted. Like how we say man meat.
Woman meat.
You can't say it. It doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think of what the equivalent of that is with the women because Megan Bayne, that's a lot of woman.
Accurate. Again, bow down to the Megasis who destroyed Ashley Vods and Rebecca Scott in less than 2 minutes. Continue.
Yeah, I don't see them losing because that would be fair. 2 pay-per-view losses in a. Well, this isn't a. Yeah, it is a pay-per-view, technically a pay-per-view. So yeah,
I mean, technically, it's one of those things like in Japan, as we watch Pro Wrestling Noah and New Japan, call it maybe a road show, call it a showcase, call it building itself in bigger. It's in a promotional showcasing. It's WrestleMania week. It's showcasing wrestling, damn it. And again, Maika, she's as busy as Masha Slamovich, it seems like, when it comes to how many matches she's going to have in and out of what you saw at Bloodsport.
When you get a chance, go back and watch that fight.
I'm going to go back and watch the whole show because Bloodsport's one of those things that I really do enjoy watching, all right?
Watch our call on it. I'm telling you, Zach and Josh went into overtime. They were the only people that reached their time limit.
Yeah, that don't surprise me. And Walter, you know I've seen John McGregor versus Zack Sabre Jr. You're talking to a guy that lives off pure wrestling, technical wrestling, all right? I've seen, and every time it seems like they just pull out more and more and more. They can never tie each other down. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. But yeah, I think as far as this match goes, with the reunion of the Divine Goddesses, I think I'm going to go with Megan Bayne, HANAKO, and Maika here. Although KONAMI, she could have a can of black spray paint, and for all we know, spray HANAKO on the eyes, and that's how they could get a cheap win. And Kalientita, she's nobody to slouch on either. Of course, I think we called her work previously in freaking VIP Wrestling. As the feed's about to change, folks, that is your card for this unique Stardom Showcase, American Dream 2025 in Neon City. I got a copyright notice, so without further ado, Walter and Superintendent Community, let's get right into it.
You got a copyright notice? I ain't get jack yet.
Well, yeah, I literally clicked and I got a beautiful logo on my screen as Stardom World.
I just see Stardom American Dream 2025 Neon City.
Yep. Bright lights, big city, powerful female wrestlers.
This looks like if you dropped your monitor and you messed your color up. Like, you know what I mean? That's what that looks like.
That's a prism, dude. Why do you think I'm just wearing white? It's not out of contrast. But yeah, that makes sense. And again, if I could cover that pay-per-view view, I so would. And I'm going to have at least 5 matches from that show probably on my list. And again, folks, if you want to learn more about Stardom, become a subscriber today, Stardom World, or check out their website. Learn about the roster, learn about the history, look at some of the best professional wrestling on the planet from an all-female promotion. Yes, Walter.
Which one are you talking about? Sin City?
Neon City.
Oh, Neon City. We can do it. You just have to watch it retroly. We still can do it.
Oh, you mean about as far as watch alongs at the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Walter, go to Stardom World, look at the card, or go to their YouTube channel, look at the match graphics with the VTRs for Stardom Dream Queendom 2025, April 27th. That card is stacked.
Yeah,
And that's
dude.
the show I was telling you about. That's going to be headlined by Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamatani. Loser retires.
We can do whatever you want, man.
Well, we'll play it by ear. I'm sure Internet Archive will have me covered. But anyway, this is going to be fun, though. First time I'm going to start with you, and it's a Stardom showcase. This should be a lot of fun. I wonder who else might show up, possibly, too. Cannot hear you. I have no idea what you just said there for a moment.
I'm getting highlights now.
Yep, I got a little... There we go. Stardom! And, of course, they're going to tell us the card in order.
I'm going to pause for a second. Let me know when they show Saya Iida.
Alrighty. And right now we just got highlights here. Sumo with the tape down. And there's HANAKO with the new blood. Starlight Kid, the Wonder Stardom Champion. Also, Artist of Stardom Champion. There's Hanan, Goddess of Stardom Champion. Representing Star Saida. Goddess of Stardom Champion. Asume, also Artist of Stardom Champion. The artists, by the way, are the Trios titles in Stardom.
HANAKO.
Hazuki! I love Hazuki. She's one of my favorites. Syuri, representing God's Eye. Maika, of course, who you saw last night. Empress Nexus Venus. Everyone loves Mina.
Out of me.
Natsuko Tora representing Hate.
I think she showed up last night.
Yeah, possibly. And TheKLA, of course, who's been nothing but hateful towards Stardom's freaking officials. KONAMI,
yes,
who you saw last night. Suzuki, crazy girl. And so many more as we get ready for Stardom American Dream 2025 in Neon City. Let's do this.
Oh my God, look at that arena. That's packed.
Every arena's packed in Las Vegas. You kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And welcome again, everybody, back to Super Liable Studios live watching event schedule for WrestleMania weekends. We cover all the promotions that we can in the time we're allotted and in the commentary booths that we have. Walter Cruz, Noah Foss, we are Super Reliable. You are your Japanese commentary team as of late, as we've done Marigold, New Japan, Noah, and for the first time ever, we bring you Stardom. Of course, this also is being brought to us by West Coast Pro Wrestling, DPW, and Prestige Wrestling from Las Vegas. And Walter, it's good to see you once again. It's good to see everybody in the chat, and I hope you all have some fun as we call some Joshi Pro Wrestling.
All right, what's the first match here?
About to find out. This crowd's still filing in. Standing room only, it looks like.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it looked like they were all standing up. Sardine style. They're packed in there, man.
I love it. I love that wrestling's getting that love. It looks like they're reading off the card here, as is tradition. Basically, for those that don't know, in Japanese wrestling, they literally read you off the starting card before the show actually begins in the order of the matches, and in case anything may have changed due to injury or travel situations.
That's what I'm looking for, the graphics. Is that it?
Looks like the fourth match might be the six-woman tag with Momo Watanabe and Divine Goddesses, according to what he just said. As he welcomes everybody in. And again, Walter, Hiroshi. We got Jordan Castle and Veda Scott on commentary there.
You really practicing your Japanese, huh?
Well, I want to one day try and call a match in all Japan, but until I get a phone with a workable speaker, that's on hold. But I know a little bit of the Japanese language, seeing Chris Charlton translate enough times and hearing, of course, the greeting. Dayashin. And it looks like we're getting things off at Mina Shirakawa. You want Mina? Here's Mina. And alongside Raychell Rose. Raychell Rose, by the way, has never been involved in Stardom before. This is her Stardom debut. And let's not forget, Walter, as we talked about, this is the very last time you will associate Mina Shirakawa walking out to a Stardom ring. After today, she is here in America and becomes all elite.
I like her the music they coming out to.
Mina Shirakawa is the only professional wrestler I know in the business that can make accordion music worthwhile.
Right? And look at what is it?
Let's see how this tag team
Here they go.
works. First time ever tag team meetup, of course, with Raychell Rose and Mina Shirakawa. Again, this is Mina Shirakawa's last match in Stardom and Raychell Rose's Stardom debut. And no pressure, though. I mean, just your last match in Stardom.
No pressure at all.
Of course, I mean, pressure.
They just said no. I'm like a second behind you. I think I paused it too long.
And of course, that music you're hearing is for crazy girl Suzu Suzuki. There she is. This woman, by the way, Walter, was in one of my top matches for March. She went to war with Rina Yamashita in a death match at Bob Sasaki's 25th anniversary. I'm glad I called the match in the death match ring. It was ridiculous in Corrigan Hall.
Glad you were able to.
And of course, as I talked about earlier, Suzuki has left her faction. She is no longer part of Neo Genesis. And of course, like I talk about you all the time, Walter, Japanese wrestling, these Japanese landscapes are all about faction warfare. Suzuki, though, stands on her own. But tonight, we'll see how well she coexists with someone that might be just as crazy as her in Hazuki.
I can see that they didn't come out together. They're not even unified.
And again, Hazuki is the brand new Spark Joshi World Champion.
Damn, I love that gear.
As a customary tradition, again, she won the Spark Joshi World Championship yesterday here in Las Vegas against Lena Cross. Lena Cross, by the way, was previously a challenger against Megan Bayne for the House of Glory Women's Championship. Go watch that match on YouTube.
I plan on going to Japan in like 2 years for like a gift for my son because he loves the Japanese culture. I think I'm gonna try to book it around where there's a New Japan or something to go live. But who knows what 2 years from now looks like?
Right. As right now doing the introductions here. Suzuki Suzu, by the way, previous 5-star Grand Prix finalist. Lost to Maika.
I get quiet for this because I love the way they announced in Japanese wrestling.
Yeah, right. Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
Hazuki, who impressed the hell of us, taking Mercedes Money to the Limit last year at the Walter Pyramid.
Which we called. Dude, that was an event. The Walter Pyramid.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Raychell Rose making her Stardom debut tonight.
Dude, look how he made Raychell Rose sound good. That name doesn't even roll off the tongue like that. He just made it sound so special.
And for the last time in Stardom introduction, Mina Shirakawa. Oh, here we go, Walter.
She's so animated.
Your first ever Stardom match call. Tag team match about to get underway here. Raychell Rose, of course, been very busy in the Texas area against the likes of Charity King and Natalie Skites. And again, this is the first time ever that Raychell Rose not only has been in Stardom, but has been in the ring as a tag partner, Mina Shirakawa. For those that don't know, Raychell Rose is trained by Bukati out of Reality Wrestling Academy.
Is there no tagging?
I will tell you this, dude. In Stardom, in Japanese wrestling, sometimes there's a bit of freelancing. Sometimes there's a bit of loose rules. It looks like Mina's got a mic.
Yeah, I was going to say, because nobody looks like they're going to the apron to wait. Vega. She's so animated. How the hell can you not love her?
She's such a doll. Here we put on a show.
Trying to hear it. I turned it down. Is she speaking English or Japanese?
She said, "Are you ready?"
Okay. I got the volume down so I can hear us better.
One more thing I have to say. Hazuki, congrats on winning that title. Again, Hazuki as a champion. That just makes my heart so happy.
I just jumped.
Mina chance ring out.
Yeah, I jumped. Is she dancing to the Mina thing? I jumped forward a little.
Ring the bell! They just run the bell. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. All right, we're perfectly in sync then. For some reason, it like jumped for me, but then it made us in sync.
And Akane will tie up here with Hazuki and Mina Shirakawa, who have shared their fair share of wars. Of course, we're saying Stars or Cosmic Angels, Empress Nexus Venus, one-on-one matches, and of course the 5-star Grand Prix. And this will be the last time you see Hazuki and Mina Shirakawa together in the Stardom ring. That's even so far. Stiff Kano will tie up again. Nice side headlock here. And of course, we've called Mina Shirakawa matches. We've called Hazuki matches, Walter. So you know what both these women are capable of.
Nice rollover by Mina to avoid it.
A single leg drop kick. Notice that Hazuki wears those split-toed shoes, by the way. Japanese customary. When
Love
Mina's
it.
showing off.
Here she goes.
Now, Mina always loves to have fun.
She cracks me up. Like, how do you not love her? I just want to meet her in person.
You want to meet so many people in person, and I don't blame you. And now Raychell Rose coming in, and both women do a little bit of a shimmy party here. And, well, this is Las Vegas. I mean, you know.
It's not Mexico, but, you know, love the Eddie Guerrero shaking.
There's a shot by Raychell Rose there, taking out Suzuki.
Raychell seemed uncomfortable doing that. She was a little unsure of herself. She just walked back out of the ring. She's
like, I'm not used to doing this type of, type of action.
She was like, that's all you, Mina.
Suzuki driven into the corner now with Mina Shirakawa and Raychell Rose. With Mina Shirakawa, you can always expect two things: a show and a great fight. Tag made.
She's still animated on the outside of the ring, but I guess she was uncomfortable with the shimmying.
And this would be an interesting dichotomy here. Again, first time ever dynamic with Raychell Rose competing against Stardom wrestlers. So Raychell Rose came out with a rising knee strike in the corner. Nice snap mare. Now goes for the cover. Hook of the leg. Gets a 2 count. Now, you're not going to end a match this quick, even in your Stardom debut, all right? I'm just going to put that out there.
That was a weird number to stop at. She stopped at 6 mounting punches. I was ready to start doing the 10 count.
I think Rachel more so is just taking the moment in right now, Walter. Like I said, it's a whole different ball game wrestling in a Japanese ring or against Japanese finest. And Joshis are the best female wrestlers on the planet.
That's true. Oh my God, to the small of the back.
Definitely the most disciplined as Mina mocking Hazuki there. Hazuki now with the cover of the far leg with a kiss in the camera and a 2 count.
Mina, I love her joyful and playful because she does it, but it's not. She doesn't do it so much to where it's distracting, or it takes away from the match.
Well, of course, Mina Shirakawa knows the disciplines when it comes to taking down clothesline, lateral press, and a 2 count again. Knows the disciplines of what it means to compete inside a ring. Again, keeping Suzuki at bay, making sure she doesn't get involved here. Unable to tag out. Center of the ring now, Mina Shirakawa traps Suzuki, now grabbing both legs. Might be looking for a Romero special. Might be going serving here, Walter.
Yep. That surfer gory special there.
Beautiful gory special. Since then, high up does Azumi go. Now transitioning to the dragon sleeper position.
That transition was freaking beautiful.
Yeah, but I was saying, she got nowhere to go here.
She folded. Why wouldn't Mina even let go? You could have tapped her out.
Well, you got to consider the farther you hold back, the more likely she would slip out. You know that.
No, not only that. If you lean back too far, you're technically getting covered.
And so far, they've kept Hazuki.
The mat.
So far, they kept Hazuki isolated here, keeping her in the ring only. They got a lot of damage here, though.
Chop to the chest. Uh-oh. Chop fest.
As I said, these women, Hazuki, will be involved in All-Star Grand Queendom April 27th. Hazuki will be challenging, code breaker, for the Tag Team Championships. Tag married to Suzuki, but for tag partner Kobuma. Time to get crazy.
Is about to pick up.
And Suzuki is as wild as they come, formerly out of the Prominence promotion.
Noah, I think the fun and games are over.
Yeah, with Suzuki, I mean, her fun is brutal and violent. Body blows, and now Raychell Rose trying to come in, help Mina Shirakawa. Maybe a little bit of double team here against Suzuki. The Irish whip, and Suzuki breaks for the banner off the ropes, takes them both down with the double clothesline to the midsection.
Dude, she did a rolling clothesline to the stomach. What the heck?
Suzuki previously challenged Great Old Khan, of course, for the KOPW Championship. Now Hazuki and Suzuki literally paintbrushing the faces of Mina and Raychell Rose with their boots, following up again off the other side and driving them through. Who's the side of the head?
I know Mina's neck is hurting right now.
5 minutes pass. Of course, we have all these time calls here to show you how long this action goes. Look for Tequila Sunrise. Mina able to scout it with the high kick. High kick denied. Spinning Sova. Ben Suzuki over. Shirakawa not done yet. She's not going out on anything less than the win, but Hazuki now coming into play.
Dude,
Double Irish
you see
whip,
those
reversal.
kicks?
Oof. Again.
Wait till you... Go ahead.
Tora, roll through. You were saying, Walter?
I said, you see those kicks? Wait till you watch Carmen Petrovic on Bloodsport. Her kicks were lethal.
Oh, the DDT on Suzuki, wrenching back on the legs of Hazuki in the process. Now Raychell Rose in. And of course,
nice
Carmen Petrovic, to your point, background in karate.
Yeah, that was a nice way to roll out into your, make sure you cover the space to your corner to tag out.
Let's see what Raychell Rose brings out here tonight against Suzuki. Oh, cartwheel, drop down with the knees. Here's a cover. Lateral press of sorts, gets a 2 count.
I didn't expect Raychell to knock Suzuki down. Body on body impact like that? The shoulder tackle?
I mean, again, background in Tenzin. So, again, she's got a bit of a gymnastic background herself. But, again, trained by Booker T. 6-year bright prospect so far in the business.
What the hell?
There's a cover. Taking down face first. Only gets a 1 count, though.
That was almost like the Mercedes Moné's move.
Well, either way, only got 1 count.
Yeah, that was like
dumbfounded.
Yeah, no, because that was like a modified version of like the opposite of Mercedes. Instead of dropping from the back, she flipped her forward.
Yeah, reverse gory special. Meanwhile, senton drop by Hazuki gets a 2 count. Now transitioning immediately into the submission.
That's what I like. Don't get discouraged if somebody kicked out. Transition to another move.
Mina, though, coming in to try and break it up. Hazuki refusing to let go of her hold, though.
Dude, Mina kicked her in the back of the head 3 times and she still didn't let go.
Got Toho, and both women stacked up. Senton and Raychell gets out of the way, and Hazuki crashes.
Actually, Mina rolled her out of the way, saving her partner.
That great awareness, though, and again, Mina Shirakawa. Oh, wow! Rolling off Suzuki's back onto Hazuki.
I feel bad for the ref. Things are starting to break
angle
down.
right there. Now Raychell Rose to the top rope. Big wrist for Raychell. Double cross body. Takes both women down.
Maybe I was wrong. In
the driver's seat, you're saying, Walter?
Maybe I was wrong. Mina and Raychell might pull this off.
Yeah, not bad for a team that's never been together before. Whoa, man, what a kick to the face! Here's a cover on Hazuki, and Suzuki breaks it up.
Suzuki came in at the last possible second.
Yeah, Raychell drove that long leg straight through the face of Hazuki.
Dude,
it's a great
you could tell this is a crowd that watches New Japan. You see how they're quiet and pick their moment. They're doing the Japanese tradition.
As they should. That's called discipline and respect. Double underhook. Countered by Hazuki. Knows the heavy cup treatments, by the way, on Hazuki's back. And you can be part of the conversation, folks, using the hashtag Stardom on the X. And right now, you see Hazuki trying to favor her back. Raychell Rose, though, meeting her in kind in the middle here. Bit of a striking exchange going on. See if we get the better of this. Off the ropes. Oh, God!
Ooh, Raychell with these damn kicks. That's like the third one.
Yeah, knocked her lights out, but again, she needs to turn her over to go for the cover or try and find submission. Suzuki crawling to the ropes, though, preventing further damage. You see Mina holding Suzuki back on the outside for the moment. That way we don't see Suzuki try to break up pinfalls or intervene. Sidestep, though, by Hazuki. Falls in with the elbow. And now it's Suzuki back in. German suplex with a bridge. Suzuki roll through jackknife takeover. Legal. There's the cover. Mina saves the matchup.
That was unique. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, about to say, a unique bridging suplex into a jackknife transition by the partner. Nearly got the win. Talk about disorientating your opponent on both ends.
We watch a lot of wrestling. You more than me. Have you ever seen that? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Not like that. And Suzuki, I've seen this before plenty of times. Avalanche senton drop. That's got to be it. There's the cover. Hazuki with the win.
Well, I was right about what team, but Mina didn't take the fall. Raychell did, losing her debut match.
But still, keyword debut, a strong effort for Raychell Rose against some of Stardom's best.
Got a bright future, dude. She can kick, man. Damn.
Yeah, I definitely was impressed with Raychell Rose tonight. Again, you can find her more so on the Texas circuit, In and Out Reality of Wrestling and New Texas Pro. And again, that was Mina Shirakawa's last match in Stardom. As you see her and Hazuki sharing mutual respect. And of course, Suzuki and Suzuki will be in action at All-Star Dream Queendom, April 27th. Good luck to both.
Definitely a bright future for Raychell. The very impressive debut there, Noah.
Yeah, no kidding. I definitely could see Raychell Rose in Stardom Ring again. But for Mina Shirakawa, thank you and see you soon at AEW. Very fun opening contest. And hey, Raychell still can shimmy, so there you go.
What was second? Because I was losing the feed when they were announcing. What's next?
I think it's one of the tag matches or series match. I'm not sure. We'll find out here momentarily.
Yeah,
that's some great stuff right there, though. And again, Suzuki, she's crazy. Maybe not as crazy as Suzuki, but I'm sure we'll see those two again in tag team action. They worked quite well. All right, let's see what we got next. Enjoying Stardom so far, Walter?
Yeah. Raychell was impressive. I mean, I already knew what to expect from Hazuki and Mina and everybody, so my main focus was on Raychell.
I like that, because you already knew the Stardom roster, but you didn't know much about Raychell Rose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what we got next. And it looks like that is, I believe, our only singles match tonight. That is Kelsey Heather. It's a big matchup, though, for young Kelsey Heather, of course, as I talked about, a bright young prospect, a freelancer on the independent wrestling scene, taking on the former World of Stardom champion in Syuri. We'll see how focused and how prepared she is.
I was looking forward to seeing Syuri. And no, I don't mean the iPhone.
Yeah, I know. People confuse the name all the time. Kelsey Heather, by the way, has been trained out of WWN Pro Wrestling Training Center by Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze in Flatbacks Wrestling School.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Heather, of course, was also involved in Stardom American Dream Queendom in Sin City last night. Losing effort, though, against Hanan and Iida. And there is the person to challenge the icon of Stardom next weekend. Oh, this is going to be so good. When Syuri enters the ring, you are in for a fight. Making her way around the ringside, of course, engaging with the Stardom fans and wrestling fans here. This is the first time ever one-on-one matchup, by the way. These two have never met each other before in the ring.
Oh, it's the first time they met?
Yep.
Ooh, so it's gonna be a lot of unique offense then.
Well, Kelsey Heather has always had unique offense. I've seen a little bit of her work, but Syuri, she's a technician and also a mixed martial artist. As I said, previous background MMA, at one point she was called the Karate Girl, trained by the likes of Tajiri. Oh, nice little gymnastics showing there by Kelsey Heather. I can't do that. Syuri representing God's Eye. She is the leader of that faction after leaving Dono Del Mundo, which of course was Julia's faction. At one point when Syuri first came into Stardom, her and Julia were a tag team.
I guess we were wrong. It's Suri is Suri. I love the Japanese announcing, dude. I can't
Same.
wait to go, Noah. I hope you get to go with me.
And one day I'll figure out what it means to travel again to wrestling. Anyway, this could literally end in a knockout, Walter, if Kelsey Heather is not careful. Again, background in karate and tennis, by the way, for those that don't know.
There they go. Shaking hands, sign of respect at the beginning.
And again, as I said, Syuri will challenge Maika Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship April 27th at the All-Star Dream Queendom.
No rush to touch each other at all. There
Well, I
we
mean,
go.
this is the wise idea. Kana will tie up here in the early going. And if Kelsey Heather is going to try and out-wrestle Syuri, she wants to try and keep this as a mat game.
I would use my karate and keep her at a distance. Don't let her ground. That's Suri's specialty. Look at the transition.
Well, again, Kelsey Heather with a background in gymnastics and cheerleading, though, should be able to flex her way on most of these moves. And again, you do not want to take one of those head kicks from Syuri.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Suri that's training karate.
Correct.
Nice
I thought it was here, though, as both women go for the front face lock here.
I didn't expect to see mat wrestling like this. This is reminding me of Bloodsport.
I mean, again, Kelsey Heather can make a huge case for herself in Stardom if she out-wrestles Syuri tonight. And stalemate in the early going so far in this early exchange.
Is Heather from Chicago? Her gear is very 1990s Chicago Bulls uniform.
She's from Florida, actually.
Florida?
Yep.
I'm telling you, she's wearing Chicago Bulls outfit.
Yeah, maybe she's a fan of, Michael Jordan.
Standing
waist
switch.
slap. Waist slap back down into the front face lock position.
Syuri missed the opportunity. If she would have leaned back, she would have locked in a guillotine.
Oh, look at this, though. Going for the cross arm breaker, Jujikatami. And again, rolling her out. Kelsey Heather, great transition. And to your point, there's a triangle now coming into play. Kelsey trying to fight back, though. Oh, and finding her footing to the ropes. Great grappling affair here so far by both these women. Talking about again.
They're talking about her history with Asuka.
Yeah, Syuri previously was involved with Kana before she became Asuka in NXT. Nice takedown again by Syuri. Once again on top of Kelsey Heather. This is interesting. Kelsey Heather is literally wrestling the style of matches that Syuri is known at her strongest for. And nice roll through inside cradle. Trap the leg. Ooh. Right now, Syuri hoisting up Kelsey. This is what I was afraid of. Driving those knees in the midsection. An Irish whip. Kelsey Heather into the opposite side. And Syuri falls in with another vicious knee in the midsection. Suplex with a break over. Nope. And immediately going back to the arm. She wastes
no time. Syuri just her transitioning, dude. Oh my God. Sorry, Noah. I'm not trying to.
No, you're fine, dude. Seriously, again, this is your baptism by fire for Stardom, and you're looking at probably one of the best mat technicians that Stardom has in Syuri. As Kelsey Heather once again finds the ropes to force the break.
Syuri's like the female. I hate making comparison, but just to relate to people, it's Zack Sabre Jr. The way he don't care. You kick out, then he'll just grab your arm, transition to an arm bar. You give him you kick out of that, he just grabbed your leg into a heel, like he just transitioned. Syuri is like doing the same thing, no wasted motion.
Oof. What a fun though with that PK kick to the spine as Kelsey kicks out.
It's hard to fight against someone like that because you can't make any mistake. You leave a limb out there, it's taken. You leave an ankle out there, it's a heel hook. Like you got to be constantly on the defense.
And right now, Kelsey needs to find her way back on the
See?
offensive here. There's another kick by Syuri with a cover, sits in it for a 2 count.
You can't even sit on the mat to take a breather because you get your head caved in from the back.
Or your spine concave. And right now, Kelsey had her brought back up to her feet by Syuri. Syuri scouting Kelsey again in the corner, looking for her knee. Kelsey gets the boot up, though. Syuri hooks Kelsey. Kelsey, though, good takeover.
Nice head scissor takeover.
And Kelsey right now trying to rebuild that momentum in the driver's seat, running in. Syuri with the sidestep, though. And just driving her boot into the midsection of Kelsey Heather, bringing her down.
I hope she didn't eat before this match. She's about to lose the lunch getting kicked in the stomach like that.
And Syuri again.
Oh my
God.
God.
Knee strike. Bringing it back towards center. Here's the cover, the body press, and a 2 count.
That might have been a mistake. She didn't really put all her body weight into that cover.
We're 5 minutes in this match, by the way, Walter.
Yeah, she could have had Heather right there, but she did like kind of a nonchalant pin there, Noah.
I feel like Syuri is also testing herself because she's never met Kelsey Heather before, and testing yourself against different styles is a great way to prepare for someone you think you are familiar with, but maybe you need to throw them off your game. Remember, Mayu Watani met Syuri in January, and Mayu won. Syuri has not lived that down since, and now has a chance 1 week probably from the day to not only beat Mayu, but win the IWGP Women's Championship.
All right, what is on Heather's mind now? She's climbing.
Yeah, high-risk offense off the second rope, to your point, looking to bring it. Moonsault, but Syuri rolls out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Syuri not found.
Cover, 2, no. Again, Heather able to still survive, but once again, Syuri going back to the armbar. Rolling
See what I mean?
She
kicked out. She kicked out had her shoulder in the air, and Syuri just grabbed it.
Yeah, and Syuri literally is pulling back hard on that left arm. Kelsey trying to fight back to the turnover again and leaving some of the pressure. Trying to get up on her knees. Syuri still with a firm grip. Able to roll through. Closing the ropes. Got to force the break.
No, I don't know much about anatomy, but I know your arm ain't supposed to bend that way.
Yeah, and of course, the longer you're in that hold, the more damage done. So great awareness by Kelsey Heather. Keeps this match live for her. Ooh, jawbreaker of sorts. Waist lock. Standing switch exchange here, possibly. Syuri getting the better. Back elbow strike. The snap mayor. Oh, and Heather with a back kick to the midsection. Standing moonsault. Here's the cover. Hook up both legs. Is it enough here? Oh!
That was Heather's cheerleading background coming into play.
No doubt. But still, Syuri able to kick out. And we've finally seen Kelsey Heather now on the offensive side here, Walter.
It did Heather. Ooh, another cheerleader. She did a split jawbreaker.
Split stunner, actually, for a 2 count.
Yeah. Did she lower her? Is she going to go for a knee strike? Because she lowered her knee pads, unless they just slid down.
Well, regardless, she's in control right now.
She's exposing her knee. Like, I think she's going to go for some kind of...
Oh!
Never mind.
Facebuster, cold breaker by Syuri, and Syuri scouting Kelsey. Oh, God, just ran through with that knee strike. Cover, that might be the knockout blow, and no!
Nope.
And Syuri, once again, back to the armbar, cross arm breaker coming to play, but look at the way Kelsey's trying to lock her wrists. Now turning over.
That's the way you defend it.
Yeah, but that's also the way you might expose yourself again. And Syuri right now, hammer locking the arm. Now twisting Kelsey all up here.
Oh my God, Pretzel City.
Both arms trapped.
Dude, she can't even tap out if she wanted.
Yeah, Kelsey is struggling heavily. Both
Dude,
arms
tap
tied
out.
up below the ring.
Tap out. Just save yourself.
That's it. That's it. She had to. That's it.
Dude, what the hell was that pretzel move?
Yeah, modified literal double arm hold.
I don't know what to call that.
Big victory here, though.
Yeah, it's a victory. That's what you call it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
stunned.
Kelsey Heather
What the hell was that?
Yeah, Kelsey Heather still, though, commendable effort. First time ever one-on-one encounter. And again, Syuri, you can find her, folks, challenging Mayu Iwatani for the IWGP Women's Championship at All-Star Dream Queendom, April 27th.
I think Heather realized her mistake, though. She kept exposing her limbs too much and kept giving it to her.
Well,
I think if they ever met again, she would know.
You saw how many ways she was trying to transition out of one hold, and Syuri set up another hold. The only saving grace was the ropes. Syuri finally scouted that, trapped both her arms, made sure her legs couldn't reach the ropes, and she had to tap.
She was the equivalent of a sea animal trapped in the net, basically. Anywhere she rolled, she was trapped somewhere.
Exactly. Well, that's our only singles match tonight, but still far more action as we continue on here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got next.
Dude,
back to tag team action.
That was impressive. Good debut for Kelsey.
Yeah, but I thought you were like Syuri. I figured Syuri was right up your alley when it came to transitional wrestling.
I think my world's match is going to be next.
We'll find out here soon enough.
I love the pacing, by the way.
As they always do. Who's coming out of the curtain?
Yeah, we're all waiting. We apologize for the dead air, but we're literally waiting. The announcer's getting in. Here's some theme music.
Time for sex and violence. Here comes TheKLA. It's 6-person tag team action. And there you see the new Defy heavyweight champion, by the way, Clark Connors, and the leader of Hate, former World of Stardom champion, Natsuko Tora.
So it's the intergender match?
It's the intergender match.
Mm.
And of course, we saw this union of War Dogs and Hate last year at the historic crossover.
Why does he remind me of Cowboy James Storm?
And Clark Connors, 100% proof, previously challenged El Desperado at Junior Genesis for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship in the first ever hardcore match for that title.
That was
losing
a freaking
effort,
banger.
but he earned El Desperado's respect that night.
That was a banger, dude.
And of course, Hate always has the numbers game and loves to use that to their advantage and grab any freaking weapon.
So what is this? The Hate Dogs?
That's probably a fair name, honestly, for that. I like that. And TheKLA, for those that don't know, comes to us also from Wynn Ostrich. She's also known as the Toxic Spider. Originally, she came into Stardom as part of Dada del Mundo, but decided to join Hate after Julia left.
KONAMI's part of Hate, right?
Yes, she is.
Because I think she escorted KONAMI last night, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it was her.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Well, from the darkest of trios to the brightest of sunshine in this trios. As we wait for Wingori, Iida, and Hanan, our current Gods of Stardom Tag Team Champions, along with the DKC.
Let's go.
And again, they will defend those titles against FWC, Hazuki, and Koguma at the All-Star Dream Queendom pay-per-view next weekend, with a victory already over them. Been a while since we've seen the DKC, actually. Of course, we've seen Ninja Mac and along with others. And ironically enough, by the way, the Gods of Stardom titles was last defended back in 2024 at Dream Queendom, where Hanan and Iida beat Momo Watanabe and TheKLA to retain those to get those titles. Excuse me. Winners of last year's Gods of Stardom Tag League.
I like the titles designs in Stardom.
Yeah, they always have a nice design. Representing Stars, the oldest faction in Stardom history, led by Mayu Iwatani.
Even the gear, I love all the gear too. All the
Again, it's
traditional
a
stuff.
customary Japanese tradition. Many of the athletes, of course, demonstrate here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down the introductions.
Do 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 do.
Introducing first Clark Connors, it sounds like.
We called that Connors and Nelson Desperado match, didn't we?
No, we did
Who
not
did?
call.
That-
We did not call any of Sakura Genesis actually. Well, we did figure out a
No.
schedule of fashion. Get back to that though.
So where did I see Clark Connors before? Because I called his match.
That would be Wrestle Kingdom when he and Drill Maloney were
Okay.
challenging for those titles.
I knew I called something with him because he looked super familiar.
You never called TheKLA before.
Mm-mm. I've been
And you
missing out though.
definitely never called this woman's match before. Natsuko Tora, who took over Oredo Tai from Kogetsu and turned it into hate when she won the World of Stardom Championship last year after Saya Kamatani joined the faction.
It's Natsuko Tora.
Yep.
Yeah, you better put that bat down because there are DQs, right?
Yes, there is, but here's one thing you're going to learn about hate. They don't give a damn.
DKC.
Iida Sada, one half of our current Goddesses of Stardom Tag Team Champions. Third generation athlete here.
She's built like a truck.
She's known as the Iron Gorilla.
And dude, she's solid muscles.
And of course, Hanan, last year's Cinderella winner, the other half of the Gods of Stardom champions, Wingori.
Dude, she might get Jordan Grace a run for her money in terms of muscle.
Yeah, Sai Iida, known as Macho Gori, also called the Super Strong Stardom Machine. It does feel like, though, that despite the fact we got Clark Connors with two members of Hate, it looks like a more unified front. Uh-oh. Well, I kind of knew that was going to happen, honestly. Of course, Hate.
What happened? Oh, you jumped ahead of me, I think.
No, I mean, literally, I see TheKLA beating down Sai Iida. By the way, Hanan was trained by Fuka, who was one of the founding pioneers of Stardom. She's known as the Young Lioness.
Mm.
It's always dangerous, though, when you're in the ring with multiple members of Hate. Nasaya ducks into clothesline. Double takedown, though. Go ahead.
Is it traditional? Like, if the men get tagged, they have to face each other?
Well, yes, but this is Japanese wrestling, and you know as well as I do that intergender warfare is much more of a normal thing.
Okay.
Oh! Triple chops. Triple posing. Look at that.
Triple chop to the head, dude.
Yeah, good grief. To your point, Sai Iida might be one of the strongest female athletes that you've come to know out of the Joshi circuit. Definitely out of Stardom. She previously had a one-on-one match with Utami Hayashi. It took her to the limit. There's Tora taking her down.
Definitely doesn't skip leg day. Damn.
And TheKLA, again, just telling the audience, cry me a river as she does. Now on the outside, this isn't going to end well. Good luck to Tadamashi keeping order here. Well, this is where we throw the rulebook out the window. Oh, jeez.
Are they clearing the audience?
Yes, because if you haven't watched Stardom, they love to use the environment to their advantage. Their plan is destruction.
Clear the front row there.
Yeah, clear the entire building. And you got to look at how close proximity they are literally to the ring here versus Stardom shows.
Yeah, there's no guardrail.
There's no, like, literal outside ring area, it feels like, here. And there isn't even an elevated stage. It's just a small building. Oh, boy.
Dude, they're launching them into every chair there is.
I mean, they're helping them clean up, I guess, ahead of the actual show being over, I guess. I don't freaking know.
This is hilarious.
Oh, good grief. Oh, wait a minute.
Now what?
The count is in play here, and the count, by the way, is a 20 count.
I was going to say it's Japanese, so 20.
Yeah, again,
what are they at?
When you watch Hate, they actually wrestle more than House of Torture, but they're still full of mischief.
Well, I can't even hear the count. What are they at?
16. 17, and finally, we got TheKLA on the apron as she brings Iida back in the ring. I believe those are the 2 legal participants.
I lost count a long time ago, and I think the ref did too.
Yeah, do you think? TheKLA right now scouting Iida possibly for a drive-by or a single boot to the side of the head. Oh, jeez. Single boot to the face. You can tell why Clark Connors likes violence and sex.
Mm.
Now looking for a Muda lock. Bridging. She's called the Toxic Spider for a reason.
Her legs are too strong, though. It might not even be doing damage to her.
And a chin lock, though, wrenching back on the head while the legs are trapped. Beautiful arc by TheKLA here in this hold.
The flexibility, damn.
Well, she calls herself the Toxic Spider for a reason.
She's far from the ropes, too, man.
A Toxic Spider sounds more dangerous than a Black Widow and a freaking... Oh, no, Spider. Whoa, hold on. You don't touch an official. Good grief. And once again, Clark Connors taking advantage now on the outside. And it's nice to see James Hebert there. James Hebert and JJ Williams, of course, on the call for our Potter Media. I figure those are tuning in to one, if not both, streams here. Again, Hayes taking advantage behind the rest back. Go figure. Handful of hair now by TheKLA. TheKLA's mission statement since joining here is destroy everybody you love, all your idols. She calls herself the idol killer. And she's toying right now with Iida. Big, strong offense here of a... Oh!
The fudge.
She loves punishment. Dude, she loves being punished and punishing others. And there's a 2 count of a very lackadaisical cover. Your silence spoke volumes.
That was a forearm blast, bro.
Chance for Iida now raining out. And here comes Tora.
Oh my God, that forearm was ridiculous.
Yeah, again, not to the Tora heel excellence. Oh, and a spit take.
Ew, disgusting.
And I think she got the referee a little bit too.
Come on, post-COVID, nobody should be spitting.
Here you are talking about spitting, and you're talking about the Japanese landscape when it comes to the freaking mist in the eye. You kidding me? And here's the cover now. Lara press by Tora gets a 2 count. Nice bridging kick out there. Natsuko Tora, also one of the oldest OGs of Stardom, trained by Fuka. She calls herself the Intelligent Monster. And again, she took over Edo Tai when Kogetsu retired. Come nothing more but a sadistic, evil witch. And right now, look at this freaking photo op.
Speaking of spiders, she could put her in a tarantula right there.
Again, sometimes they don't take themselves as serious. This latest incarnation of Edo Tai, though, with the fact that Konami joined after betraying Syuri, and Saya Kamatani joined after betraying her friends in Queen's Quest and Maika. Here's the cover off the splash and a 2 count. Hey, might be honestly more dangerous than ever before.
That whole sequence, the scoop slam was enough. And then you had the splash on top of that. I don't know how she kicked out.
The tag made a TheKLA. Frequent tags, though, which again is smart strategy. We talked about before how we thought that you call them the hate dogs. Might be more of a unified front. And it looks like your words earlier might bring some precipice to that. Saya definitely needs to make a tag.
Dude, she's in desperate need of a tag for a while. I think it's the better part of 3-4 minutes she's been in the ring.
A knife edge chop is the DKC and Hanan. Watch from the outside of the ring.
Dude, her chops ain't even that strong anymore. She is worn out, exhausted.
Yeah, you can tell by TheKLA's Cheshire Cat smile. Ooh, and again, TheKLA likes this. She likes this, Walter. Now she's feeling it.
She likes pain, huh?
She likes sex and violence. Why do you think they're called that? And again in the corner, just teeing off. Shares with Satoshi Kojima here. Saya lining up TheKLA.
Even I ain't touching that joke.
Good grief!
That just slapped her butt.
I think that last shot hit her in the ass, but that was just like clubbing away like the gorilla that she is. Massive double chop there, and a regular eyes by TheKLA, though. Gouging the eyes.
She treated her like Donkey Konga. Remember that game?
Yeah, of course I do. And of course,
With the
Donkey
drums.
Kong Banana Bonanza coming out for Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hard in the buckles, big boot, got up on the second rope. Iida out of the corner, scouting TheKLA, driving through with the shoulder. What a tackle!
I would find a way to make a video game reference where we're on the claw.
10 man to the DKC. Now the men are officially legal.
Finally, damn.
We'll see what Clark Connors brings to the table now. Irish whip reversal. DKC off the ropes. Takeover T. Harris takes down the Defiant champion and the War Dog. The DKC right now fired up.
Yeah, I was going to say he came out on fire like a bat out of hell.
You know, for somebody that doesn't have the strongest track record in wrestling, he definitely has a lot to give to the business in his young, upstarting years. DK on fire right now. The Irish whip. Nice bicycle kick.
It's been all offense since he's came in the ring.
The hot tag. Definition of the hot tag.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's just chopping away at Clark Connors here. And and TheKLA and Koro coming in to break it up. Now it's all going to break down again.
Before he started chopping, it almost looked like he was going to do a crossroads.
Oh, spinning back fan. Backhand chop variation of sorts to the neck. And what is this? Launching forward, literally just kicking away at Clark Connors with assistance by the tag champs.
That was the Liu Kang bicycle kick.
Exactly.
Oh.
Chop to the throat. And wait a minute, what? What's this? Triple chop down onto Clark Connors. Triple for your pleasures and the chin. No, broken up by everybody. That three-eye chop did not get it done, Walter.
I don't think so.
And we're back down to the men. The men are legal, by the way. DKC, of course, last time we saw him in NJPW Academy, he was involved, of course, in the NJPW Cup. In tag team action, lost to Liv Danger. It's a hell of a slam, though, by Clark Connors. DKC down for the moment. Hanan and Tora stand tall. Respective corners looking for a tag here. Oh, here we go. Both fans, the women are in now. And we're finally getting Hanan in the ring for the first time, I believe.
The referee has never had control of this match at all.
And I'm about to say that this happens usually with a hate match, but this might be a little bit more ridiculous. Also, hoisting her up. Unable to again. And right now, too much weight dropped down by Tora. Here's the cover off the lateral press and a 2 count bridging up.
Try to pick up too much weight. I'm not trying to offend her. It's just literally an observation.
Yeah, that is accurate, dude. And of course, pride before the fall, and sometimes instinct versus brains come into play, as you know that as well as I do. Tap point of Iida coming into play. Wingori working together. Isolate Natsuko Tora. Grabbing TheKLA with the baseball slide. And now Hanan. Oh!
The hell?
Axe kick cover 2!
It was almost like she went for an axe kick and turned it into a famouser almost.
That's still not enough, though, as Natsuko Tora is still alive in this bout.
Dude, I think we've hit the 13-minute mark in this match.
Well, it hasn't been 15 minutes because it hasn't been called yet. And a sidestep. Whoop. Watch TheKLA and the hate working together now.
It's been at least 13.
You got to consider this, Walter. If Hate wins this against the tag champs, that probably puts them in contention for a future title shot. Falcon arrow by Natsuko Tora gets a 2 count.
Dude, how does she muster the strength to kick out of that?
And again, Stardom, your strong spirit showing off. Of course, Hanan, like I said, last year's Cinderella tournament winner. That's their version of the New Japan Cup, by the way, Walter. A big
Yeah.
forearm
Yeah, I
shiver.
know. You said we were gonna do that.
Well, maybe next year. Again, you're still learning everything about these Japanese promotions. And we got the Summer of Tournaments coming up with the 5-star Grand Prix, the G1 Climax, the N1 Victory, and I'm sure we'll figure out something to do with each. Clubbing shots by Hanan trying to wear down Natsuko Tora. Strike exchange off! Hanan with the height advantage, though. Not by much, but still. An uppercut, hoisting her up, backdrop suplex. And TheKLA, though, meets him with a forearm shiver, drops Hanan. Iida, though, runs through TheKLA. This is where it all breaks down. What is going to happen here? Little body building show off here by Clark Connors and Iida. Clark clearly with the height advantage here.
Definitely.
Just a cheap shot to the midsection. Connors even in the playing field, whether man or woman, going off the ropes, and Iida ducks underneath again. Look at the speed! Takes down Clark Connors with a flying clothesline. Oh, there's Tora, though.
What the hell was that?
No. Well, there goes the ref. What, DKC, don't take on the leader of hate.
And I think she'll gladly take on him. She don't give a damn.
And there's the miss to your point. Blinded DKC. Can't see anything now. Triple spears. And Hanan up on the shoulders.
Yeah, there's no ref though, Noah.
The ref is back in play off the death valley drive,
go.
and that is it.
Well, I guess I know who the new contenders are for the tag titles.
Possibly. But that's if Wingori gets through Hazuki and Koguma next weekend at All-Star Dream Queendom.
So what's the next? What is it? The 5th fight? The next one?
I'm not sure here, actually. I just hope DKC, someone can summon for his eyes. He got that miss straight in the face. Every time, always I see hate on my screen. I hate it. Still, though, wild non-stop action for a 6-person mixed warfare. Probably was the longest match of the night, to your point, Walter. Dirty Tactics win the day here for the hate dogs, as I'm now going to call them thanks to you.
I gave you. Look at that. I don't know if I'll start them, but I already give you a nickname for a team.
Well, wait a minute. TheKLA and Clark Connors in the ring, and TheKLA microphone.
I think all we have left is Megan Bayne, right?
I believe you are correct. Oh, no, that's the My World, I think.
Oh, yeah.
2 more matches left, I believe. Oh, no. Calling out the president again. Okada watching on.
Why is she calling out the president? You got to give me the history lesson here.
I'll give you the history when she's done.
Yeah, you got to translate to the people because I turned it down.
What? Okada's not an actual wrestler. He's the president of the freaking company. You can't challenge him to a match.
You got to tell me what happened. I remember I turned the volume down.
Uh-oh.
She challenged the president to a fight?
No.
Oh. I can hear like somewhere. She said one more time.
Yeah, good for Okada not getting in the ring with TheKLA. Oh, no. Come on now. This is too much. That's the damn president of the company. She's been going at this for months, ever since last year when she got suspended by him for putting his hands on him. They're literally assaulting Okada in the ring.
You sure he has no wrestling training at all?
He is a wrestling trainer, but he's not an actual competitor. He is the freaking president of Stardom. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Someone needs to come out here and stop this. Watch it and go, man!
Really? No one's gonna come help the president of the company that pays you?
TheKLA will be lucky if she's not fucking fired after that.
You might be too afraid to fire him, Noah. Or to fire her, I should say.
This is just deplorable.
It's okay, Noah. He's gonna book her.
Hate continuing their evil ways against everybody they can.
Instead of firing is almost too easy. You book her in an unwinnable match is how you get back at her.
Well, again, what does this prove, though, Walter, besides the fact sex and violence might be weak dick bitches after that act? Talk about running roughshod. Think you own everything, but you don't own a fucking thing.
No,
well, anyway, we're going to regroup after that bullshit.
All right, so now you got to give me the history because I have no idea, dude.
So last year, of course, TheKLA and Watanabe, they were the Gods of Stardom Tag Team Champions. They lost the match via count out to who became the new Tag Team Champions eventually in Hanan and Iida. They got pissed off about it. Eventually, moving forward, Iida and Hanan won that tournament, which meant that they had to challenge them for those titles. They didn't like that. They attacked them, then they attacked security, then they attacked the president. Because of that, Okada suspended her for that. And for a little while, she's been pretty much a sore ass since. We fast forward to Dream Queendom last year, where Wingori won the Tag Team Championships, and TheKLA has been at odds ends against President Okada ever since.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she also recently won a match against Mina Shirakawa, which allowed her to face anybody she wanted in Stardom, thinking she could take advantage of Okada for that. And even though Okada still refused to face her one-on-one,
face the president.
Exactly. And even though he still refused to face her one-on-one, she decided to take matters in her own hands tonight. Let's go ahead and regroup, though, and talk about some people that actually matter. Big-time opportunity for Johnnie Robbie here competing in Stardom alongside Asumi as Asumi prepares for 2 title matches in her near future. Currently, the Artist of Stardom champion, that's the Trios titles, by the way. As part of Neo Genesis, Asumi will challenge Starlight Kid for the white belt, the Wonder of Stardom champion for the first time ever in her career, and will challenge Mercedes Moné for the WWE Strong Women's Championship next month at Resurgence. And of course, Johnnie Robbie coming back from a career-threatening injury last year in December. Continuing to show how strong she is and still fights on ever since. Mad respect, I'm glad she's back. We'll see if Asumi can finally win her singles championship. She hasn't been a singles champion since 2023. And here comes the White Tiger, the forever rival, respectable foe and friend of Asumi. Also, preferably, this match might literally define the leader of their group, Neon Genesis. Since they are both not only in the group, they're also both Artists of Stardom Tag Team Champions. As you see, Starlight Kid.
I'm still on Mia World. I keep jumping behind you by a few seconds.
And both women are on the screen, but I think you're all right. Well, I'll tell you when the bell rings. And Maya World, of course, you're very familiar with Maya World. We've seen her work ever since she went into business for herself back at Mission Pro Wrestling.
You're goddamn right I'm familiar with Maya World. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Control yourself, dude.
I'm tranquilo.
You're fine, Miyamano. Of course, Starlight Kid became the Wonder of Stardom champion last year at Dream Queendom, beating Natsuko for that title. Christening it now the Starlight Belt. And big, massive opportunity, though, for Asumi and Starlight Kid to renew an incredible rivalry. Their first one-on-one was back in 2015. That's how far back these two incredible athletes go as we get the introductions here. Of course, Asumi's been involved in Stardom for the last decade. It's literally defined her entire career. And there's Johnnie Robbie.
showing off her athleticism. I just saw her bouncing on her knees. See, I don't know why I keep getting unsynced from you. Oh, the cat.
Hey,
Asumi.
okay, so they're on the introductions. Thank God. All right, I don't mean to come in and ask this question on the air, but I don't have another way to do it. That's time sensitive here because I have stuff to do, and I want to try to get a nap in between. Noah, are you going to be able to do the SmackDown show? Are you going to do the SmackDown show, or are you doing Spring Break? Because I need to know now so I know.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Just pick me for whatever, and we'll figure out how I do it.
Can you do SmackDown? Because I'd appreciate doing Spring Break to give myself time to do shit.
I'll need some sort of feed, but if I have a feed, then yes.
Oh, jeez.
Starlight
SmackDown's on USA. SmackDown's on USA. We could do the TV together.
Well,
all right.
I don't.
John, you give me your feed for that somehow. Then yeah, I'll do SmackDown.
Okay, so Walter, you're gonna have to feed him through the Discord, I think.
No, I'll give him my Sling TV information. He could just log into it.
All right, yeah. All right, that works. All right.
All right, fine.
Cool.
I'll do SmackDown. I got you all tonight.
All right, thank you so much, Noah. All right, have a good call, gents.
Always a team player I am, and always gotta be ready for the line of duty. That gumming. Oh, so much.
Are you sure you're not Mr. Reliable?
You know what? I'm a simple man, a lifelong professional wrestling, and I will stay that until the day I die. Anyway, let's go ahead and see who starts this match. This should be quite interesting. It looks like Starlight Kid and Johnny Robbie will kick things off.
For the record, I got you for Spring Break, and so you're at least gonna nap in before the Hall of Fame.
And Stiff Condo will tie up here again. The Sky Tiger. We've seen, of course, Starlight Kid here for a number of times in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
There's only one woman in this whole match I'm not familiar with, and I'm a fan of the other three, so.
Well, go ahead and see how well you're educated on Johnny Robbie, because we've literally called at least a couple of her matches, in my opinion. And, of course, the second time, though, you are seeing her in action, looking for the hip toss and standing switch.
Yeah, this is only, I was going to tell you, this is only the second time I've seen her.
And 2 count. What are you thinking so far? She's keeping up Starlight Kid. Nice arm drag takeover, though. The side step, press, the slip out. Again, don't blink, Walter. Slips out the legs, lateral press again. Comedic kick out, stalemate.
I didn't think she was going to be able to keep up with her speed, but she's doing it.
And
she's
of course, about to say, go ahead.
She always has the height advantage, but everyone else has speed advantage. But the fact that she was able to keep up with Kid.
Well, it's kind of like, whoa, what cover on press? My word, 2 count for Asume. It's one of those things also like we called the strong survivor. Remember what he said? He would sacrifice that title cover again, bridging out. He sacrificed that title to go train the Noge Dodo because he wants to go to Japan. Johnny Robbie wants to go to Japan as well. And nice escape by Maya World up and over Asume.
Oh, she does too? Okay.
And again, a prospect of NWW Academy. Nice backdrop suplex. And Starlight Kid taking out Johnny Robbie. It looks like Maya World and Starlight Kid might be trying to take advantage here. The Irish reversal combination.
Have they worked together before, or this is the first time?
This is the first time ever tag team lineup with Maya World and Johnny Robbie. But again, Starlight Kid and Asume have been at each other in some capacity since 2015. Oh, double drop kick.
Because they got chemistry for a team that's never been together.
And sometimes you just find that sort of theme. It's like a cover. Wow, Johnny immediately in there to break it up.
Well, do you want to take a chance?
Yeah, right. Take a chance on them. And again, off the ropes. Nice double takedown there. Sweep of the legs. Johnny Robbie Asume. Combination offense. Driving through Maya World Starlight Kid. Beautiful kip up by Asume. Of course, again, like I talked about, Asume and Miya Shirakawa, that controversial finish. They will be going to Ontario, California to challenge for the Limited Strong Women's Championship in triple threat. Oof! Charges in with the drop kick. And as I said, Asume will challenge Starlight Kid for the Wonder of Stardom Championship at All-Star Dream Queendom, April 27th. Big PK. I talked about earlier how Asume cover 2 is called the Daughter of High Speed. She held the High Speed Championship for 680 days across her 2 illustrious reigns and has not been a singles champion since May 2023.
So you said it's the first time they're teaming. So what do you think the strategy will be here? Like, how
Well,
do you
I would.
prepare?
Yeah, about to say how you prepare for something you don't know. Well,
Mhm,
Johnny Robbie is
mhm.
very familiar more so with Stardom versus Maya World, of course. Being a president of the academy, you got to be a little bit familiar about the Joshi disciplines. Johnny Robbie, nice modified neck breaker there, gets a 2 count. I think for unfamiliarity, it's also like you got to be of two minds because I do think that at the end of the day, assuming Starlight Kid are more focused on themselves, considering what's ahead for them in 8 days.
Mhm.
Tag on her side here. A blot with a forearm strike. And of course, you're talking about Maya World. Of course, we talked about Maya World's work trying to make a name for herself out of the Texas area. The it girl, Maya World, looking for the opportunity to take advantage here. Creating some arrangement with Asume. Now up to the top rope. Oh, wow. Massive miss Dragon turns Asume inside out. Now, will she make the tag to Starlight Kid or go for the cover? And right now, there's the tag to the White Tiger, Sky Tiger, excuse me. And up the ropes, again, two of the originals of Stardom that have defined each other's careers pretty much. Ooh. Johnny Robbie with the pump kick. Double team, Irish whip off Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid, a little bit of misdirection. Then takes down both over with the tijeras and the head scissors.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I'm sorry. You get thrown on the ropes one way, and you just and curve the other way.
About to say, yeah, Johnny Robbie up and over to the floor, and Suma and Starlight Kid now one-on-one in the ring. We're already 5 minutes in, by the way, Walter. No, you're fine, man. You're all right.
The Starlight Kid just made me laugh. The way she just went, was like, that's the equivalent of Samoa Joe's nope.
Yeah, that's fair. And Starlight Kid, Ishiga. Oh, standing moonsault. There's a hook of the near leg and a 2 counts.
See, sometimes I just get behind you. Now I just got the 2 count.
Well, again, Trilla TV tends to do that, and we're pretty much in sync, so it's all good, man. And then again, you're getting your analysis in, you're learning about Stardom, so this for me is already a complete experience. Oh, look at that counter roll from Asume right now, trumping the arm in a submission. And again,
dude,
Johnny
your
Robbie,
arm is not supposed to bend like that.
Yeah, but Johnny Robbie doesn't care, and look at the way she's isolating my word away from this. Oh my gosh! That Mystica is almost in the Fujiwara armbar. And again, the reach of Starlight Kid saving her for the moment, going to the ropes.
I can't front. No, I would have tapped 30 seconds ago.
And you got a thicker arm than these two women.
I would have tapped.
The suplex. Wipes her out, though. A kick straight to the knee. And Starlight Kid right now regrouping, figuring a different strategy. Oh, God! And now working the leg. Shades what El Desperado does. And to my point, there's the stretch muffler. Tiger leg killer here in play. El Desperado, one of the biggest influences for Starlight Kid. Just wrenching back of that leg and finds a way to reach the ropes and force the break. Using every bit of that 5 count, though, Walter.
I mean, hey. It ain't breaking the rules if you let go, right?
That's fair. And Starlight Kid going up to the sky, Asume meeting her in kind.
I gotta ask, how are we almost at the main event already? What the hell?
Because this is Stardom and we don't waste time here. I've watched enough Stardom showcase shows to tell you how fast they go, dude.
Can AEW and WWE take note, please?
WWE more than anything. Oh my gosh, look at this. The modified ground octopus on the top rope of sorts. The referee forces the brother to break, but again, heavy damage could have been done there.
I was gonna say, isn't she technically entangled in the ropes? You can't. That's illegal.
Well, again, still, dude, like you said, 5 seconds. You do a lot of damage. Now, Asume up to the top rope. Went for the double stomp. And again, the knee. Watch the knee. Watch that right knee.
You got to treat it like food, I guess, right? 5-second rule.
And now Starlight Kid again, going back to the leg killer. Asume able to roll for an escape. PK to the left arm of SLK.
You know what? She has to be careful because she can sucker her in, making her think that knee is hurt so she can go target that stretch muffler and catch her in her own maneuver. She can't get too excited.
Of course, that Sumi roll. Now Fisherman hook of the leg. Fisherman suplex.
Ooh, she hooked her leg a different way for that Fisherman to make sure all the weight is landed on the knee. That was smart.
Yeah, but watch Asumi. Hooking up Starlight Kid. Brainbuster. Both women down.
I love Starlight Kid, but I love me some Asumi. I don't know why. I'm weird, dude. I like a lot of heels, dude. I don't know what it is.
You're different. That's all right. The Tad Mina and Johnny Robbie and Maya World also in.
Ever since I was little, one of my favorite people was Rick Namato Martel, and everybody always made fun of me for that. It was like, I don't know. I was always going after heels. Fair. I don't know what it is.
That's fair. Sweep the leg, went for the step up sense on Maya World, scouting it though. Now the full Nelson, suspended German suplex hold. Hey.
That's a big hit, dude. Oh my God.
Starlight Kid out on her feet. Wait a minute, excuse me, Johnny Robbie. Starlight Kid on the top rope with a cross body. Bringing it back towards center. Maya World still legal. Now Maya World off the ropes. Rolls forward with the senton. There's a cover. Is there enough here? Asumi with the break.
That was a thick senton.
Asumi and Starlight Kid on the outside. Johnny Robbie and Maya World are legal. Again, Johnny Robbie with aspirations to go to Japan. Oh, wow, look at this. Counter, the roll-up, reversal, drop kick. Maya World got caught off guard there. Didn't even see that coming. Up and around, La Mystica. And Johnny Robbie and Asumi kicking her head in. Bang! What a knee strike. Johnny Robbie did hook of the leg and Starlight Kid saves the matchup. Woof. Swing and a miss. Asumi and Starlight Kid. Oh, catching him with a right. Single leg boot. Asumi with the high kick. Starlight Kid and both women down and all four women down for now, Walter.
Yep.
10 minutes in. I love this. I love this so much. Big pump kick right now. First kick by Maya World, Johnny Robbie and Kine. Went for the throat thrust. Good combination by Johnny Robbie here. Went for the back elbow. Caught it with the right instead. And Johnny Robbie in control. Maya World down, vulnerable position. Off the ropes again. Step up. Elbow, knees to the back of the head. What a drop. That's got to be it. 2. Johnny Robbie with the win.
Is that her actual finisher? That was nice.
What? Hold on. Was it?
I think her shoulder was.
Seriously? I thought she had her.
The referee's going like this. Her shoulder, was that a mistake?
Brainbuster. Now the shoulders are down too. That's it. The questionable call on the last cover. I thought she had her there, but I guess Johnny Robbie made sure of it. I hope Maya World's okay. I don't know that was supposed to happen. Johnny Robbie and Asumi though with the win. Asumi with great momentum ahead of All-Star Dream Queendom, where she will take on Starlight Kid, and also pushing forward towards Resurgence. Those victories rack up. Of course, wins and losses actually matter in Stardom.
Do you think Maya's hurt?
Maybe. Hopefully, nothing too serious.
Weird. That was weird.
That was referee. Really. I got nothing, bruv. Well, either way, hold on. Well, assuming with Starlight Kid's belt. Oh, that's a statement.
You lost. Oh, actually, you won. So never mind. But you didn't pin.
Well, again, Walter, that's what it's all about. This will be their 8th singles match, April 27th. And for the first time ever, it's not over the high-speed championship.
I tell you now, we don't do predictions for Stardom. I bet Asumi wins that belt.
You really think Asumi could beat Starlight Kid?
Mm-hmm.
Jury is still out, but we'll see. And
when is it?
What?
When is it? May 20? What?
April 27th, All-Star Dream Queendom Stardom pay-per-view, Starlight Kid versus
3 a.m.?
Asumi for the Wonder Stardom Championship.
3 a.m.?
Something like that, I think. On the Pi pay-per-view service. We don't have access to it, unfortunately.
We don't?
No. Well,
God damn it. I was going to say, you know we're crazy.
yeah, if I could order it, I would. I've already tried. It is main event time here, though, at American Dream 2025. You've been waiting for this one, Walter. For a number of reasons.
Bro, that's a whole lot of women on the left side.
Divine
The three of 'em.
Goddesses and Twin Towers, Megan Bayne, Maika, and HANAKO taking on Hates, KONAMI, Momo Watanabe, and Kalientita.
Dude, what is up with the camera, man? Stay your ass still. What?
And of course, we saw Momo Watanabe take on Mercedes Monet earlier this year at Revolution, the losing effort for the TBS Championship.
Is it my feed or was that shaky camera work?
Well, possibly both. Kalientita escorting Hate to the ring this time in this inter-promotional warfare. I'm not sure if Kalientita can accompany this faction. If I'm being perfectly honest here.
Are we missing the banner? I don't see it.
Kalientita, of course, continues to move forward on the independent scene. It's right here, dude. I got you. You're all flustered for a number of reasons.
Yeah. I private chatted you something, but
no, you're fine. I saw that. Don't worry about it. You're good, brother.
Yeah.
I got you. Kalientita, known as the spiciest chica out of the hybrid school of wrestling in Texas.
That's literally what Kalientita means. Actually, there's a whole lot of women on both sides, to be honest. Shit.
And there's one half of the New Blood Tag Team Champions in HANAKO. And there's Maika, of course, the Empress. And there is Megan Bayne.
I'm telling you now, Maika lost yesterday, but she made a fan out of my ass.
A lot has changed for Megan Bayne, though, of course, now part of AEW. Cruz was part of Stardom. As I said, Maika and Megan Bayne were once the strongest Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions in Stardom history, known as Divine Goddesses. And Maika last year, Walter, came into this event as the World of Stardom Champion and defended that title against Megan Bayne.
I know one thing. If you're a casting director, you better cast Megan Bayne to play Wonder Woman. I tell you that much. Because she looks like an Amazonian.
Yeah, look at that summit of power there. The Twin Towers, the Divine Goddesses. Welcome back, Megan Bayne, by the way, to Stardom.
We somehow have transported to Mount Olympus somehow, Noah.
In a way, you're absolutely correct. Let's go down the introductions, Walter. Akona. Kalientita, of course, trained out of the same school that trained Izzy Moreno. You were talking about KONAMI last night on Bloodsport, of course.
She made a fan out of me, too.
And
I'm telling you, last night, so many people impressed me. I was like, damn. And it was just a perfect thing. It was smart booking to put people from Stardom in Bloodsport, knowing the next night there was a Stardom event.
Yeah. Shout out to Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams in the chat saying KONAMI just got beat by Shayna Baszler last night at Bloodsport. So we'll see what KONAMI does.
She got elbowed. She literally elbowed her to death. She knocked her out with elbows. Like
that don't surprise me. When Shayna Baszler is actually booked properly. AEW logo displayed proudly for the Megasis Megan Bayne, who destroyed 2 people on Collision in less than 2 minutes. And of course, HANAKO, we know her from the Ring of Honor pre-show. We've also known her in Stardom as part of Empress Nexus Venus with Maika, one half of the New Blood Tag Team Champions, alongside Wagata Tsukiyama.
I don't think I've ever. We've never called Hanako or my. Yeah, no, we've never did it.
Michael,
That-
I'll tell you later. I'll tell Maika, of course, the strongest competitor probably in the Stardom roster. Goes back to those traditions of Japanese wrestling, shades of Hiroki Goto, previous World of Stardom champion, 5-star Grand Prix winner, and also a
Dude,
founding member of Empress Nexus Venus.
this
And
is
to
about
answer
to
your
be a
question,
banger.
Walter, we did. We called one HANAKO match, which he took on Harley Cameron back at the Ring of Honor 0 Hour, and HANAKO won.
Okay. All right. See, I was confusing. I'm like, did we? I was debating with myself. I'm like, I think we did, but I didn't want to sound stupid, and I ended up with
Oh,
egg
you're
on my
fine.
face either way.
I remember the history. We called Maika back at Supercar of Honor last year in that 6-woman Stardom showcase. Ironically enough, that was your first actual look into Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
Kana will tie up now with Momo Watanabe. And of course, Thomas Toni Storm, still the AEW Women's World Champion. And of course, Thomas Toni Storm has had her fair share of run-ins with hate when she went back to Stardom. Prior to that, a different life, though, Toni Storm, Grand Slam champion of Stardom, was very familiar with Momo Watanabe, who was previously part of Queen's Quest.
Which
Oh!
AEW had to feed her to Mercedes. That pissed me off.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. And right now, oh no, here we go again.
So we treat it like Bruno.
And KONAMI dragging Maika away, and Kalientita trying to help her team here. Oh, face first in the apron. I think Kalientita was in the wrong spot because I think they wanted to drive Maika in the ring post. And
that's what I think happened. Yeah, I think she got in the way.
Watch out for HANAKO through the chairs. Ain't doing what they do, causing mischief and utter bullshit.
Note to self: if you go to Stardom, don't stay glued to your seat.
Yeah. I was about to would you. And then I've got the trash can. This is not supposed to be a no disqualification match. Come on.
Referee's discretion, I guess.
I suppose. Oh, I just got brained with a trash can lid. Again, referee's not seeing this. Megan Bayne just dropped Kalientita. Coming to the aid of her Divine Goddess tag team partner, Maika. Oh, jeez. Anything they can get their hands on, they will use as a weapon. That was dumb. Woo, swing and a miss. Midsection again, Momo distracted referee, and again with the trash can to the head of Megan Bayne by KONAMI. Momo Watanabe literally been distracting the official this entire time while all this mischief's been going on the outside.
Dude.
And the legal woman back in the ring, very like a days ago, cover for a 2 count. You were saying.
I don't envy the refs in Stardom. That none of the refs had control of any of the matches that we've been watching.
Only because of hate. Other matches were about friggin' drive and strong competition. This is just mischief. Nothing but nonsense. Utter nonsense.
But actually,
the definition of shenanigans. Tag.
He's been the ref for 3 of the matches already, hasn't he?
He's the lead Stardom official. And they're going to Natsuko Tora on the outside of the ring in Hate's corner.
Okay, Kalientita.
And again, the spiciest chica right now. Trying to add some serious heat to Hate.
She is spicy.
Inside Russian leg sweep. Nice takedown there. Here's the cover with the far leg on Maika with the back press. It gets a 2 count.
The irony that she's spicy, but Maika's the one with the flames on her gear.
Yeah, but I mean, Kalientita, if she actually wins this, I don't know if she'll gain favor with Hate or like be able to join the faction, but that'd still be a major win, especially if you pin the former World of Stardom champion.
Is that a story? Is she trying to impress them, like trying to join them?
Well, again, like I said, this show is about interpromotional showcasing. We got AEW, Deadlock Pro, West Coast, Prestige Wrestling, Hybrid School Wrestling, Independent Texas Circuits, all represented here. So a major win here for anybody not part of the Stardom roster would be huge for them, in my opinion. Especially when they're so young in their careers. As I talked about earlier, Kalientita is literally only 20 years old and has only been involved in wrestling now for about 3 years. There's a cover by KONAMI on Maika getting 2 counts.
I was laughing at how nonchalant Momo was cheating there, like she didn't give a damn.
And Kalientita, by the way, has been a singles wrestler, keyword singles wrestler, for only 2 years. Previously, she was a referee for 1 year. Whoa, man! Up and down with the slam, and look who stands on the corner. Tag me! Release the Megasis! Oh, God! Reunited are the divine goddesses. And Megan Bayne right now just running roughshod here against Hate. I like it.
Bayne united her foot with her face is what she did.
Big splash stacking up here in the corner. KONAMI and Momo Watanabe squashed. No way, no way. Are you kidding?
What, the double suplex?
Double suplex, Megan Bayne. What the hell are you made of? Oh, and Kalientita. That was foolish.
Whatever a goddess is made out of.
Well, apparently it's pure strength. Looking at maybe. Whoa! Kalientita just got wiped out, tossed over the top rope onto her team by Megan Bayne.
And don't forget, Bayne's already pissed off because Tony retained her title recently.
Well, that's why everyone's been bowing down since to the Megasis. Anyone that's been in the ring with her have fallen to face descent.
That was literally her first defeat. Well, in AEW.
Short range lariat, tag made to HANAKO, also known as the Twin Towers. Big shoulder block there to KONAMI. And again, off the ropes, big shoulder block again, takes down KONAMI here. Of course, KONAMI, like I said, betrayed her friend Syuri. Dropping the knees, here's the cover, up the far leg, and a 2 count. Only about 2 years of experience, by the way, Walter, for HANAKO.
That's crazy.
Up on the shoulders, rear naked choke, though.
Stardom's full of a lot of young up-and-comers, huh?
Yeah, and you can see more about that with their New Blood showcases on YouTube. Again, HANAKO and Maika are the New Blood Tag Team Champions. The fact that the Submission Magician beat the Submission Sniper last night in Bloodsport tells me a whole lot. That's KONAMI's nickname.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to talk offline. We're gonna have to do something. We'll call it Baptism Week, where I just take a week off and you just baptize me all in this stuff, and we do watch-alongs the whole week for just throwback Stardom stuff.
Fair enough. For the biggest shows of Stardom this year, again, All-Star Dream Kingdom is coming on the 27th, and right now HANAKO trapped in submission, Maika trapped in a crossface, and Momo Watanabe trapped in Megan Bayne almost with a chicken wing. All 3 women trapped in submission holds.
You said you don't have access to it. If I got a VPN and put them in Japan, they won't do it?
I don't know, actually, if that would work. That's a good question, though. I'm not sure. Again, it will be available on demand later on for Stardom World subscribers. Again, trying to find a way, force the break to HANAKO. HANAKO's reach being her savior.
Her long. Well, I was going to say long leg, but she's not really tall.
She's called the Twin Towers for a reason, dude. Long legs. You got it right. Screaming armbar, though, by HANAKO, literally bracing HANAKO's throat across those steel cables.
This referee has no control at all. I'm sorry.
Running drop kick. Here's the cover. 2 count only.
He might as well just be there for the count because he has no control at all.
I'm about to say, the Stardom official here, whenever it comes to Hate, never has control of a match, particularly. Also, there's probably a stronger, longer leash of leniency in Stardom than there is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The standing waist lock, HANAKO, send to Momo, big forearm shiver, push back on KONAMI, German suplex release. HANAKO turned inside out. Yeah, to your point, HANAKO stands 5'11". Whoa! Okay. Wiping out KONAMI with that lariat to the midsection, I believe. Someone's got to make a tag here, and Maika and Megan Bayne stand ready on the apron. Looks like Maika might want the tag, though. Maika, who's literally taken HANAKO underneath her wing. Tag made. Tag to Kalientita. Maika just running through her with the shoulder block. Maika will also be in action at All-Star Dream Queendom against, I believe it's, I got to look up the card here, that's unique name, out of Sendai Girls Promotion. Oh! Swipes her off her feet right there. Running through now, just stomping away at Maika in the corner. The chili pepper right now, bringing all the spice she can. Stepping into the World of Stardom champion of a previous era. Dragging Maika in a position. Oh, my! Nice modified, knee to the face. Almost called the stroke and a 2 count. She calls that move the heat stroke, by the way, Walter.
Mm.
From behind with the sleeper hold again. Kalientita fine bat, though. Goes into the ropes. Maika again.
Nice.
Oh, man. Clubbing lariat. Brings her back towards center. Sliding lariat. Takes Kalientita down. Here's the cover. Is there enough there? And 2 counts. Gets the left shoulder up.
Damn, they are hitting each other hard, dude. They don't play around.
You should know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes, I believe that's Momo Watanabe coming into play.
That's Momo.
HANAKO,
Yeah.
it's about to all break down again, I think. 10
I don't
minutes have
envy
passed.
referees, man.
Right. The 10 minutes have passed, by the way, Walter. Maika, by the way, trained by Taka Michinoku. So what? 5 years involved in the business.
This is the main event, so is it 20 minutes?
I believe this match has a 20-minute time limit. Maika
Yeah,
takes down a Kalientita of a running lariat. That's gotta be it. Cover 2. No.
Dude,
Wow.
she reached down from like hell when she did that close. She brought her arm down from her knee to throw that lariat.
Yeah, good kudos to Kalientita surviving that.
I don't know how.
Hoisted up. Kalientita still in this fight. An Irish whip, reverse switch to Maika, kick to the midsection. Now trapping the arms.
You know what, Noah?
Jagged neckbreaker. What's up, brother?
It may just be her youth. She doesn't know any better, so she just keeps going.
The big drop
Like
kick.
sometimes
She
she don't know. Stay down.
Oh! And almost pinned Maika there. It wasn't for HANAKO coming in at the last second.
Last second, indeed.
Yeah, HANAKO right now. HANAKO and Maika working together. Previously tag team partners in last year's World Gods of Stardom Tag. You see Mina Shirakawa, by the way, in the corner. Double missile drop kick. KONAMI wipes on HANAKO and Maika. Now we got Hate trying to take control again. Momo Watanabe and KONAMI isolating Maika with the kicks in the back and front. And Kalientita still legal. Head scissors takedown, didn't get all of it. Here's the cover, hook the far leg, and Megan Bayne with the save.
Mm.
Able to escape Momo Watanabe's grasp. And things are completely broken down again. All 6 women in the ring. What the hell's going to happen here? Stereo average whip reversal, hooked up. What the hell?
No, things never got in order to break down. It's been broken down since the opening bell.
That was about the most unified move I've seen so far. Just a trio of vertical drop suplexes. Brainbuster, excuse me. And now, oh my lord. Electric chair, the Mega Assist from the top rope!
Too bad Mrs. Copeland's nickname was the Glamazon, because Megan Bayne truly is one.
Yeah, how about that for an Avalanche Doomsday device? Michinoku driver number 2 by Maika. Maika with the win.
Bye, Kalientita.
Taka Michinoku
Noah,
will be proud of that.
I think she just went ice cold, Noah.
No
Sorry, I had to get one. I had to get one pun in there.
Of course you did. Well, HANAKO and the Divine Goddesses reunite tonight to get the win here. Megan Bayne, Maika, and HANAKO, your winners of this 6-woman tag. What a week it's been so far, and there's still so much more to come, including today as our nonstop crazy effing watch along schedule continues.
Dude, JJ, I was thinking the same shit. I was like, am I supposed to cheer Megan today?
Yes, you are. And Maika with a microphone. Aww.
Yeah.
Embracing her friend. The Divine Goddess is back.
With the relationship, they might reunite in AEW. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Saying thank you, everyone. Nice little send off here by Maika.
Arigato.
I'll be back in America. Stardom World. Well, you heard it from Maika. I'll be back, and Stardom will be back in America. But for tonight, Divine Goddess says, for one night only, be unite and stand tall in victory.
I need Stardom to come somewhere that's like in the middle of both of us, and I'll pay for both of us to get there somehow, Noah. Because we gotta go in
Good
person.
luck with that, but I admire you with that dream.
We gotta do it.
Well, I agree. But in the meantime, Walter, thank you for finally joining me on a Star Wars run. And thank you all for joining us for this fun little Stardom showcase and watching. Again, if you want to follow more about Stardom, go check out Stardom World today on the social medias. Check out their website, learn about the roster, learn about the history, look at their upcoming shows. If you can, if someone's watching us from Japan, I hope you enjoy Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2025. That is April 27th. Available on Pi pay-per-view service later on for demand for Stardom World subscribers. But in the meantime, for Walter Cruz, I'm Noah Foster. This has been Stardom World Wonder American Dream 2025 in Neon City. Again, y'all, sayonara, arigato. As we bring the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams for our post-show shenanigans.
It may be for after we off the air, though. Is it an off-the-air thing?
It's off the air? All right.
Yeah.
So it's all good. You can leave me in here for the wrap-up.
I'm about to say, sometimes we do the post-show wrap-up, you know. So, I mean, it's also one of those things where I just wonder what's going on with what they're doing as well. And Safet, yeah, you're darn right, more wrestling to come. So, that being said, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. Again, Stardom. I love Stardom. The hate, though. Fuck that. Anyway.
Stardom's on fire, dude. Damn.
They've been on fire since their inception as the World Wonder Ring Stardom promotion, founded back in fracking 2010 by Fuka.
What's the Japanese equivalent of a mamacita?
I don't know. That's a question I can't answer. As much knowledge as I have, that's a question I can't answer. Anyway, that was fun. Hey, JJ, what's up?
Not a whole lot. Just trying to get a little bit of recovery time before the chaos begins here in another few hours. So,
a chaos? What make you
I love the Natty by Nature shirt, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, about to say you all had an incredible call on Bloodsport as we were talking about last night, and of course TNA had an incredible show also last night. The wrestling just keeps on delivering. And while we're live, before he speaks any further, again, folks, our crazy effing schedule continues on. Subscribe to all the channels today. Subscribe to Bad for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead. Subscribe to the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams. You guys are unbelievable. Subscribe to, of course, Rage of Wrestling Walter Cruz. But again, keep up with our Watch Along schedule as this continue ridiculous mad week of wrestling watch-alongs at the Simply Reliable Studios continues. We are nothing fuds. Anyway,
you know what we gotta do today?
What?
We gotta create, since we got the women looking like that, and then we got a guy for Noah Ash. We gotta give Noah one that just has a bunch of titles. Like no picture of no one.
Noah's is perfect. His just needs to be on like a solid, simple background with his shills because he's the simple man.
Next thing you know, you're going to make a commentary table background for me. Good grief.
Actually, that might be the best one to go.
Yeah.
I'll let you all work on that.
Have like a wooden table like you'd find at Home Depot with like a laptop on it, and then Noah's shills on the back of the laptop.
Yeah,
the laptop up and just have his shills be on the back of the laptop.
As I look at my laptop here, reviewing All-Star Grand Kingdom 2025. That will be, of course, April 27th. You freaking buffoons. I love you all. All right. Yeah, so what's up, JJ? How you been? Good to see you for the first time today, bro, before we really lock in towards everything this weekend where shit's gonna get real.
Doing good. Me and James had a fun call on Podermania. 11 matches in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. only one change up, and I realized why, because Maya World was here. She was supposed to be on a tag match on that show as well, but apparently she got double booked. And if I'm being real, Stardom's the better show to be on anyway, so I can't be mad at her flaking on that. But
damn right.
Dude, everybody's like triple and quadruple booked this week. You gotta love it.
It's Las Vegas. This is the
it's
opportune
WrestleMania.
time. WrestleMania week, every promotion underneath the proverbial Mohegan sun. And we're not even doing all of them. But this is the most we've ever done in my life. And I love it.
I know we'll be seeing Megan Bayne once more tonight as she's on the Joey Janela spring break taking on Bozilla.
That's going to be meaty. Oh, God. A shout out to Bozilla, by the way, who previously challenged Utami Hayashita for the Merry-Go World Championship. Lost. But I do think she can become the Merry-Go World Champion. Maybe the Dream Prix this year could go to her. Who knows?
And when we were doing the GCW WWID tournament, we heard that one of the dudes was booked on like 12 shows over the course of the week.
Yeah, Monster Snippets got booked like, I think, for 10. Speedball My Belly at one point got booked for 12. I mean, so again, this is where your work is pushed to the highest and you love it.
There is no bigger stage in professional wrestling than WrestleMania week, regardless of what company you're in.
Accurate.
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. No disrespect to Slammiversary, no disrespect intended to All In. WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. Those are like the Pro Bowl, the All-Star Game. They're still big in their own right, but they will never be at the level of WrestleMania.
Damn it.
Until WrestleMania and the WWE are buried completely, none of them will rise to that level. No. It's just what it is. That's not tribalistic. No. That's not hating on a company. No. It's speaking facts.
Simple as that. Walter, to your point, the pay-per-view has the following card in case you're wondering. Again, it'll be available later on demand for Stardom World subscribers. Syuri versus Suzuki in a singles match. Cosmic Angels, Sari Arnold, Natsuko, and Aya Sakura take on Maiko Satomura in her final match in Stardom. Mika Iwata and Yuna in 6-woman tag team action. Rina versus Yumiko Hota in singles action. Hina versus Rana Yagami for the Future of Stardom Championship. Chichiro Hashimoto versus Maika for the Sendai Girls World Championship. Chikara took Syuri to the limit one time. You saw Starlight Kid versus Sumi today. They go one-on-one, as I said, for the Wonder Storm Championship. As we talked about with Hazuki, FWC, Hazuki and Koguma take on Wingori. Hanan and Iida for the Guys of Stardom Tag Team Championships. Maira Tani takes on Syuri for the second time for the IWGP Women's Championship. And in the main event, career versus career for the Stardom World Championship as well. Saya Kamatani versus Tam Nakano for the final time. And that's everything ahead, April 27th.
You said Starlight Kid and Asumi fought each other tonight?
In tag team action, but previously they had 7 singles encounters. Their 8th one is coming April 27th for that title.
That's weird because when me and James did the Dragon Gate show, they were teaming together against, I forget who they teamed against. I think it was Members of Hate.
Yep.
KONAMI and Tano, I believe,
Tora,
they took on.
Natsuko Tora. Yep,
so it's just kind of weird that just a couple of days later, bam, they're on opposite sides and they have this big singles match that they're building towards. It just shows the diversity of the companies and booking here at WrestleMania week. Again, we just saw Megan Bayne as a babyface.
Right.
Like that just is so weird to me. And with Forbidden Door around the corner at the O2 in London, and Stardom's involvement with AEW, could we see the Dream Kingdom come together, the Divine Kingdom, to take on some trio at Forbidden Door?
It's entirely possible. We've had 6-woman Stardom showcases in Ring of Honor. It's entirely possible. But right now, we got to see if Maika becomes the Sendai Girls World Champion and if Megan Bayne makes all of AEW bow down and become a champion in her own right. There's a lot going on for women in wrestling in AEW and Stardom, being perfectly honest right now.
Damn
I
it.
can't wait for this pay-per-view, and I know a way I'm going to watch it. Just can't watch it at the time. Damn it! But like I said, there's going to be
We're still live. We're not backstage, man.
and you know what? People know my fandom. It is what it is. I hold Stardom up as the highest form of discipline, passion, spirit, and competition than any other professional wrestling for women on the planet, and rightfully so. So again, I'm going to watch that show and probably have like 5 matches from that show on my top 20. They already know the top 20 is coming up. I'm not giving anything hidden or top secret.
Probably the only thing that competes with Stardom for Noah is the Knockouts division.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree, especially with Monster Slam is leading it. But again, Tessa Blanchard, Diamante, same day, April 27th.
I'm telling you, Tasha's getting that title. Nah, she's getting that title soon. I don't think TNA can deny her that any longer.
Well, we'll see if she's undeniable. Like Chris Bay proved was unbreakable. As we continue to prove, we are absolutely unstoppable. So, unless anyone got anything else to say on the air, again, thank you all for tuning in. Again, there's still a whole lot more ahead today as we take you in through WrestleMania weekend. But until later on, for Walter Cruz, American Wrestling JJ Williams, I'm Noah Foster, reminding you, make a positive impact in life, and whether you're across the world or here, have a good day or have a good night. We'll see you later this evening for SmackDown. Enjoy the spring break with the Hall of Fame to follow. Stay tuned.